What is up, my beautiful gemstones? Welcome back to Friday night's live intuitive oracle with myself and Ghostdragonzw. I don't know why I look a teeny tiny bit blurry on my end, but it could just be the lighting. My lights are kind of broken, which is why I've been looking kind of orangey in the shorts. But I do have better new white lighting equipment coming. As long as y'all can hear me, that's what I care about. I want to, before I forget, take a very quick moment or a quick minute to congratulate Aunt Edna. If you guys remember, a few weeks ago, we were sending love and light, and we all said we're going to pray for her grandson to get that scholarship. I don't remember the exact details, but he got it. They are out celebrating tonight. So that was wonderful. I had him in my prayers, in my prayer card. I put him on the prayer list at church. Like, we were going all out, and he got it. So Aunt Edna, if you're listening, or when you listen, we're so proud of him. And yes. Gray Wolf, thank you so much for coming in and showing support and love. Love that. And no, Nutslap, my technical issues were not TikTok beefs, okay? Look, if you guys... Oh, and it popped in. She said, I won't be able to make it tonight. I have a date. Oh, I didn't realize she said it in chat. He got it. Full scholarship. Thank you for all the good wishes you sent that night. It worked. So there you go. The receipts. No, not TikTok beef. Guys, if you watch me over on TikTok, you know my content is a lot different than it is on here. That's why I always warn people, like, I get more political, and there's a lot more of, like, no filter in that content. And I would hate to offend any of my actual gemstones. So if you're a sensitive soul, or you know, you have trouble taking kind of out there jokes, maybe don't go on the TikTok. But other than that, I do still put like the 2 to 3 minute shorts, the weeklies. So that's one more thing I wanted to let you guys know. From going forward, I'm going to be doing, instead of the minute where I'm like rushing and running and blah, 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 I actually found out that TikTok and YouTube actually will push your videos out more if they're more than 1 minute and 3 seconds, which they don't allow you to do for YouTube shorts when in the 59-second shorts. So my friend was like, I'm like, how can I do that? You get 15 seconds, 60 seconds. And he's like, no, TikTok gives you 10 minutes and you can stop it whenever you want. So that's why a lot of y'all were like, hey, where did Gemini go? You know, 3rd week of March, Gemini isn't here. And if you had seen the community tab, I know it's just one little post. What happened was Gemini's was 3 minutes and 1 second. So they made me upload it as a video. So if you're looking for the 3rd week of March, Gemini, the short to go with the rest of them, it's in with the videos. That was my next point. Blue Crossroad says, Gemma Jade wanted to thank you for the video of Shauna's birthday. It was wonderful. Thanks to all the gemstones for all the well wishes. I gotta say, I was a little bit disappointed at the response to that video. There wasn't a lot. And I really thought, you know, that would bring more love and positivity. But then I realized it's basically our gemstones in this stream, which is like 20 to 30 people. So first I was getting a little mad, and then I was like, no, you know what? That actually makes sense. So yeah, I'm always thinking about you guys, you know. I have a bowl of pretzels here because y'all are always on me about my sugar intake during stream. I can't promise I won't dip into a fun dip, although I can, because I don't think I have any red left, only blue, and that'll make my teeth look green. Anyways, Nomeo, your birth chart will be coming by the end of this stream. I didn't forget. Remember, we had to look into Uranus. Let me say hi to everyone and bring in the man of the hour, the person y'all are really here to see. Andrew says, lately I've been thinking about everybody's situation in chat and life's goals. And, you know, the easiest decision is the hardest one, but the hardest one is usually the easiest one to make every week. It's like living. Oh, my God, this is so true. It's like living as the movie Groundhog Day. Keep trying until you get it right. Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes there's a lesson to learn in between the lines. We are human. We are not perfect. That's so well put, you know. And also I realized in giving advice once again to someone else, I realized that the exact advice I'm so confidently giving and I'm so sure of is the exact advice I need to be taking myself. So it's very easy, even when we're not judging, right? Because I'm not being judgmental. I'm just saying, like, my family member asked for a non-biased, like bipartisan perspective. And I was like, well, it's very clear to me from the outside looking in. And she was like, man, Gems, you know, if you could only take your own advice, right? And a lot of us can't. And she didn't take the advice, and she's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, like so many of us are. But again, most of the time, guys, it is because there's a lesson. And trust me, I curse and yell and scream, and I'm like, I've learned every effing lesson there is to learn here. I take full accountability. I know where I planted seeds. Like, I've changed everything about myself. There's still something here I'm missing. There's still something here. There has to be in this one particular situation. Heather, what's up, girl? Latro, A, Falcon 9 countdown and working on a truck. Hot as heck in the sun. Faux show. Lotus, don't worry about it, sweetie. Sorry I didn't get back to you this week. I worked 2.5 days out of the 5. I had an emergency Monday morning. I wasn't able to get anything done. Tuesday, I did a full day. Wednesday, something happened too, and I wasn't able to do much. I did some readings, which, you know, that's the main thing for me to keep up with the personals I do every month. Kelly Lewis. Girl, you said you should be here by 4:15. Where are you located? Are you on the West Coast? I'm glad you came in, though. And thank you for supporting the TikTok and understanding that a lot of the times I'm just joking. And sometimes I'm just in a bad mood and trying to get people riled up. And I definitely know how to do that, you know. I definitely know how to do that. Heather, it's so good to see you. Your energy is brighter this week than it's been in the last few. And that doesn't mean that everything's perfect in your life, but you feel a lot, vibrating a lot higher, or at least higher than last week. And I love that. You know, every little bit counts when it comes to energy and how we're feeling. You know what I'm saying? And you're just such a sweetheart. I can't wait to see where this part of your story brings you, you know, to the highest heights that you're going to take your life and transform. Nope, here he goes. Who else? Blue Crossroads. What's up, love bug? Cowie Snyder, we actually go live a little early. I try to go live. What is he doing?
There, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I did.
You got rid of the background. Got rid of the background screen. That's fine. Just please leave it. Just leave it.
I wasn't trying to do anything.
I try to go live by 7 p.m. Instead of 7:15. I just put the 7:15 to give myself that extra cushion so people aren't, like, you know, anxiously waiting. I don't watch other people's live streams. I find them kind of dull, unless they're really interactive with the chat. And I really don't have time, but I do remember what it was like waiting, like, you know, it's 7:01. Where are they? So I give myself that 15-minute cushion. He said, correction, we are live any minute. Absolutely. Kelly, thank you for joining us. I love that you're back in chat more regularly. Nutslav. I'm going to have a TikTok beef with you if you don't start getting us those W's in Fortnite, bruh. Let's see. Mark Holstead, I'm so glad you said you were feeling better. I know I didn't respond. Again, rough week. I know a lot of y'all understand that, but I always do feel bad. Grey Wolf, if you're still listening, you are beautiful. Thank you for being a patron and for being a member, and for your overall support throughout the years. I mean, you've been with me for so long. I love seeing you when you are able to pop back in slow motion. It's funny. I was just thinking of you because I just now saw the last email you sent me from like 4 months ago. Yeah, I have email anxiety as well as telephone anxiety. It is a real thing. Like, the fear is real. And I don't know why, because it's like, oh, somebody offered, 2 places offered to kind of manage me for a fee, but like to take X amount of my videos, manage them, do the thumbnails, do the titles, do the tags for me, like to match the algorithm and really get my stuff pushed out. But I don't have $150, right? So I'm trying to come up with those funds. It would be amazing to be able to see where they can lead my channel. Also, one of them was like, you know, you score a 0 out of 100 on the XYZ algorithm. I'm like, okay. Like, are you insulting me? Are you offering a service? I'm like, because let me tell you something. If you're offering a service, coming for my throat about my low algorithm score is not going to be effective in getting me to want to work with you. You could have just said, like, we can help you do better. And they did. They showed me how my content is 0 out of 100. Not the content itself, right? There's a score of 0 to 5 in like 10 different areas. It scores a 0 with thumbnail. It scores a 0 with title because I won't clickbait people. Like if we're talking about Elisa Lam in the Cecil Hotel, I'm just going to put Elisa Lam in the Cecil Hotel. And they're like, you have to put shocking murder with exclamation points and big letters. And I'm like, that's not my vibe, man. I mean, if I don't make it because I'm not willing to clickbait people, then I guess I'm not going to make it. I feel like I've already kind of made it. I got like 6,000. That's a lot of people. Think about 6,000 people in one place. TikTok, I've got like, I think 1,200 or 1,400 followers already. And I've only been on there like 3 months. Instagram, I got like 70. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my thing. I've been talking for a while though. So let's move this along. Full moon. I didn't even think of that. That could be why I've been dragging.
Yeah, it was a blood moon last night.
Mom, I didn't even see you in there. I've been taking so long to go through the freaking list. What's up, Carl? The troll. Listen, I'm not trolling.
What the hell? What am I doing? Sorry.
I'm not trolling. I'm just standing up for myself.
I'm just going to stay away from that side.
You do it all the time.
Yeah,
oh, thank you, Cowie. Cowie says, your lives are the best, Gemma. Heather, I actually did. It wasn't last night, though. I think it was 2 nights ago. RJ and I, we went on we go like twice a month out to dinner together. And we were on our dinner date. And as we were standing there waiting for our Uber, I looked over and I saw the moon, but it was like before the sun had fully set. So it looked really cool. I love you too, Grey Wolf. Absolutely. Mom says, hi, Steven. Hi, Andrew. Oh, Netter. The party don't stop till I walk in. No, New England, the party don't start till I walk in. Dirt Roadie has arrived. Divine Empathic, what's up, baby girl? Oh, slow motion. I'd like to know what you know, because I just need a little bit of help, like with like basic, like I have a really good editing app. I have 2 actually. They're really good. I paid X amount of money for lifetime, so it's not a monthly thing, but I only know how to cut. I don't know how to do anything else. I don't know how to like insert pictures or video or audio. I think my content can be so much more like top tier if I could learn how to do those things. And apparently they're extremely simple. The problem is I do everything on my phone. Full moon's in your sign. Nice. Raymond, hey. Mommy, I can't wait to see you tomorrow. There was one more thing, but I'm sure it'll come. Oh, guys, everyone in here already knows, but just in case anyone's listening, members are free. It's $2 to PayPal or Cash App or $4 to Super Chat, Super Sticker. Usually someone will put like a 20 and then we can cover everyone. But if you can't pay, don't want to pay, won't pay, you can still hang out. There's no judgment. You don't have to get a reading. It's not a big deal. And if you really, really want or need one, at the end, after everyone who's paid, all the members and everybody have gone, Ghosty and I go through all of the people who couldn't or didn't want to pay, who actually do want a reading though. All right. So don't think if you don't have the $2 or $4, you can't get a reading. That is not true. This is a gift that I have. I really only started charging because I'm just not making much. So if you guys can donate anything to my PayPal or Cash App, I really would appreciate it. And let me show you guys really quick, and then we're going to get started. Let me show you guys my mom's cupcakes that she made for our bingo party tomorrow. Nutslap, you say one word about bingo party and I'll smack you. So they're gnomes, and look, I hope it translates well through the screen because they are adorable. These are cupcakes my mom handmade. You see it? It's hard because the computer, but it's got the white beard, the green, the flowers. Oh my gosh, Mom, I didn't even notice the butterflies on the hat. The little nose. Aren't those the cutest things? I can't wait to eat them. Dearest, I got Aunt Teresa a gift. It's cute. She'll like it. And I got the gift for the party. All right, Mom, let me know when you're ready. Melissa, Nicole, hey, fam. Thank you, Heather. Yeah, they're going to be delicious. Although I'm going to feel bad eating a gnome. All right, I've rambled now for 20 full minutes. So why don't we get started? Jarvis! My mom's been a baker her entire life. She started working at a bakery when she was 12, and it's what she did. My mom can bake her booty off. She can bake anything.
Yeah, I want some of that good stuff.
All right, who's first?
Heather B.
Slow motion. Grey Wolf, if you want me to do a reading for you real quick, I'm sure Heather wouldn't mind while you're still here.
Yeah, because she goes to bed early.
Well, also, she has wonky Wi-Fi. She's in Canada. Slow motion, you also let me know if you need to head out at any given time. And you want one. And Mom, whenever you're ready. So let me read for Grey Wolf real quick. Thank you, Heather. I was waiting for you. I do appreciate it. Yeah. So listen to this, guys. I got a new deck. I was trying to get one with the gift card my mom gave me for Christmas, and it got lost in the mail. You know, Amazon, how they work. Then they didn't have anymore. So I ordered a different one that I've been wanting for a while. It's called Dark Goddess or Dark Goddesses, not to be confused with our Dark Goddess Oracle. But when I got it, and I'll shuffle while I talk. So when I got it, I noticed it was not brand new. And they had the option of me buying one that was used in great condition for like $4 cheaper. And I, yes, slow motion, you may. And like, I was like, why would they send me? Because used decks can be really dangerous. I don't know what kind of witch or person handled them before, what energy they had on them. They seemed pretty good. It took me very long to get everything off of them. So I called Amazon. I'm like, this is not new, right? Like, I ordered a new deck. I'm like, and I don't want a refund or anything, but y'all got to give me something. So they're like, we'll give you the difference between what I got, like $6 back, which I was happy with. I was just like highly offended. Like, you can't just give me an old, like a used deck and try to pass it off as new. Yeah, Grey Wolf. I usually cleanse them anyway, because even people that just handled them in the factories and the people, you know, everyone's energy sticks and you don't know who has what. But a used deck with like a witch or a psychic or, a, you know, an oracle having used them, it can be dangerous. We should let animals attack humans and just sit and take it. On a video of groomer abusing cat by throwing cat at wall. Oh, that's very interesting. Well, thank you for showing up. All right, Miss Grey Wolf. Yeah, if I was attacked by an animal, if a dog came up out of nowhere and bit my ankle, my reaction would be to kick my leg. I'm sorry. Those people, do you know how long ago I wrote that? Probably 2.5 years. All right. Oh, wow. Interesting. Grey Wolf, you got hell. Oh, my God. You got hell, not the Christian hell, the goddess hell, H-E-L, judgment. I think you just, it's like maybe your sleeve or something. I stay very far away for that reason. It's okay. It's just like, it's distracting.
Yeah, well, they switched this box around and it's got that tab, and I keep
It's okay.
that dang tab, and I'm
just do your best not to.
Yeah.
All right, let's. Anna, give me 1 second, please. Grey Wolf, hell is calling on you to trust in your own judgment. You are entering a period of awakening that has been brought about by self-reflection. You can see yourself and your surroundings clearly now. You have found your absolution, learned from your experiences, and allowed the past to die. You feel alive, refreshed, and ready for new challenges. So yeah, I've definitely seen that growth in you throughout, you know, the last few months of your readings. I would say even like the last year of just this slow progression towards this emotional independence, which unfortunately, you know, you had to make that change in the first place. But I feel like even if you're in, say, a really healthy relationship, right? where things are, as they should be, and everyone's happy and everyone's giving and taking and participating. I think that we should all, male and female, be more emotionally independent, where we know that we want the person we're with, but we don't feel like we need them, right? And Grey Wolf, whether this has to do with romance or not, I just feel like in the last 12 months or so, you have learned lesson after lesson after lesson, some of them the hard way. All right. I feel like what this card is saying for you for the next 2 weeks is you're going to have some opportunities coming in, some things happening in your life where to go along with it, whatever it is, as you normally would, to please someone else, like to doing something to make others happy or to make someone else happy or trying to get someone to think well of you. We all do that. You can say you don't, but we all do it at one point or another, where we just like maybe don't want someone to think any type of way about us. So we go out of our way when we really don't want to. What this card is saying is you now know better, and you now know that it's okay to say no. It's okay to enforce boundaries, even if you struggle with it from now on. You now know your worth, what you bring to the table. Even if you struggle with it from time to time, and even if you still doubt yourself, right? I'm trying to think of how to say this. Even if you still doubt yourself from time to time, there's like that inner strength of knowing that you've got this. You've put the emotional, spiritual, psychic energy and effort into whatever this is. So this is the universe telling you in the next couple of weeks, when things come up that you don't feel good about, that you maybe, aren't sure of, like, go with your better judgment. You should know by now, when you're kind of being pushed more towards by the universe, allowing your better judgment to take the reins without wondering who's going to think what and why, right? It's like, I've made my decision, whatever. I don't want to do that, or I really do want to do that. And you can take others' ideas and opinions and thoughts into consideration. But at the end of the day, remember, be confident in your choice, because your instinct and intuition don't come from nowhere. Okay. It's your team literally sometimes screaming at you, and you get that hit like, oh, wait, I shouldn't do this. That's because they're throwing it in your head. So guys, I don't want to give them, what's up, Chillin' Charlie, any acknowledgement aside from this. It looks like the trolls are out in full effect. It looks like one person that's creating different accounts. Just block and delete. That's all you have to do. Don't mention them. Don't talk about them. That's it. That's the only attention they're getting from me. I'm going to do slow motion because he's in Ireland. Okay. And then Heather, I'll be on to you, honey. So, and thank you for your patience, Heather. Slow motion, I'm going to use deep dark. Oh, no, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to use deep dark and dangerous because it's the first one. Jarvis, how are you feeling?
I was just going to ask that.
Yeah, Andrew, that's why I'm saying make sure that you just pay attention, just block and delete. Don't even acknowledge them, okay? That's the best way to get them to stop. Thank you, Heather. Okay, Cerberus, you got the card of guidance. It is card number 9, and it is deep. Hey, Roger. Oh, geez. Okay, thank you for coming in, and I'll be sure to pray for and send some love and light to your mama. And let me just say, save your question, and when it's time for your reading, I'll be more than happy to try and answer it for you. It's hard sometimes with one card, but normally I can get a good feel of what's going on and give you an accurate reading. Just know readings are $2 to my PayPal or Cash App. If you really can't or just don't want to pay the $2 or $4 through YouTube, that's fine. You just have to wait until the end. And then I'll read for you with the others at the end. So either way, you can get a reading. It's just whether or not you're going to be on the paid list or you're just going to have to wait till the end. No big deal. All right. Slow motion. Card number 9. Chillin' Charlie. Thank you, Miss Grey Wolf. And you're so welcome, of course. Thank you for your patience with the readings. I put yours and my one other friend last because I feel like you guys aren't going to get mad at me if they come at like a couple days into the month. So I don't mean for that to keep happening, but I do appreciate you not getting angry about it or like being upset with me. I do appreciate it. Slow motion, develop strong and healthy boundaries. You should respect the boundaries of others. Not all places or people are for you or should be available to you. Exercise and respect loyalty. At the gates of the underworld, there lies a huge hound. He yawns 3 yawns, for he has 3 massive heads. The hound sniffs the air and turns languidly to see his master, Hades, walking towards him. The hound rises and stretches and happily rubs each of his 3 heads on his beloved master's body. His spiked tail wags. Hades pats the head of his guardian at the gates, knowing all will be well. Cerberus is watching. There is a saying that we don't deserve dogs. How ironic, huh? And I, for one, believe that is a fine truth, even if we're speaking of the Hound of Hades, a hellhound. Cerberus is possibly one of the most written about dogs of any ancient world and appears in many stories, not just featuring his master Hades, but many Greek heroes. He is a dog with a job, and he guards the gateway of the underworld to ensure that none of the dead leave the realm. The most well-known myth about Cerberus is the story of him being taken from Hades by the hero Heracles as part of his 12 labors. Heracles kills his own wife and children after being made temporarily insane by the goddess Hera. After visiting the temple of Apollo at Delphi to try and work out how to make amends, Apollo instructs him to go to the king of Mycenae, Eurystheus, and serve him for a decade. The king hates Heracles and wants him dead, so he sets 12 increasingly impossible tasks for Heracles to complete. After Heracles is successful on the first 11 labors, the king decides to set him the task of bringing back the Hound of Hades to him as the 12th labor. Heracles has Hermes, a psychopomp, that is a figure who can guide in the underworld, and Athena to help him. Heracles enters the underworld at one of the known entrances at Cape Tanaron and proceeds to find Hades. In the earliest myth, Hades and Heracles fight for Cerberus. It's said that Heracles shoots an arrow and wounds Hades and subdues his hound with chains, dragging him to the surface. Later myths suggest Hades agrees that Heracles can take Cerberus with him, but only if he's able to subdue him without a weapon. Heracles wraps his lion's skin around the dog to hold him and then grabs him by each of his heads and squeezes until he submits. I agree, slow motion. I can't wait to one day get a puppy or have a dog. Once at the surface, at the temple of Demeter, Chinthonia, Cerberus is startled by the sunlight and vomits venom and foam bile all over the flowers to the exit, giving the plant aconite its poisonous nature. He struggles mightily, and Heracles manages to exhibit the hound to people in cities along the way. Heracles is widely criticized for this because of his lack of humility and his excessive pride. Finally, Cerberus is presented to the king and the labor deemed successful. Some say Heracles took Cerberus home, but more popular is the account that, like all good boys, Cerberus found his own way back to Hades and he never left again. Your plant companion is aconite. Your crystal companion is obsidian. Oh, Jim's camera at dawn. It is it Pi Day? March 14th? I thought March 12th was Pi Day. Boy, I was never good at math. Sorry, my underarm itches. It's the hair. I love you guys. Yeah, okay, so yeah. Slow motion, I do feel like you're dealing with a boundary issue in the coming weeks. So this could mean either, I don't remember if you ever got that dog or what the issue was there, but I do feel like maybe if you're still thinking about getting one, now would be a good time. If you already have one, pay very close attention to him in the next 2 weeks, that he is safe. Nobody's taking him or stealing him, right? Or he's not running off, right? Make sure that you're being extra vigilant around your pets, dogs in particular, if you have any. That's just kind of an aside. Now, with this card, I do feel like there's manipulation here in some form where somebody is maybe treating you poorly or lying to you or not allowing you to be part of something. And then Jarvis, and they're trying to make it seem like you're questioning them is you, like, all right, let me put it in this way. Like, say, and I know, I believe you're single, slow motion, but just take this example because I don't really know how else to say this. So say you're engaged, and your partner gets up to go to the bathroom. Her phone keeps ringing and ringing and ringing. So you pick it up, you look at it, you see she's cheating. You confront her, of course, because she is in the wrong. She turns around and says, well, what about you disrespecting my privacy? You invaded my privacy by going through my phone in the first place. Totally trying to gaslight you into thinking you did something wrong by the reaction you had to what she was keeping from you. That's the energy like that they're showing me here. So basically there's gaslighting, somebody trying to make you feel like you're wrong for feeling a certain way, like you're wrong for, responding or reacting the way that you either did or will. Here's the thing. The universe is saying, if you really want to know if you were the a-hole or not, check in with your boundaries. Did you do anything or say anything that you would expect someone else not to do or say to you? Right? Fair is fair. And I feel like that's kind of the message in the next 2 weeks, slow motion. Just make sure you're treating others, as cliche as it is, as you would like to be treated. And make sure that you're really paying attention to the people around you that you care for, because I feel like one of them isn't being completely honest with you. And there's a lot of manipulation here. It's hard to see all of it with one card, but I do feel somebody is really, you don't even see it. Like, I don't even think this is on your radar, but in the next couple of weeks, if you start feeling strange about someone, or like if things seem off in any area of your life, if you feel like you're being lied to in the next 2 weeks, you are. All right. For sure. Hey, baby dragon.
She makes a killer peanut butter pie.
Heather. Always
Yes.
on the button, Gem. Well, thank you, sir. My Irish friend. Heather, I'm using Dark Light Oracle. Miss Girl. A lot of people have higher energy than normal. I think we all went through this slump where we were like, not like low, but just not ourselves in the last few weeks. And I feel like tonight, even with you, baby dragon, whether things are going that much better or not, your energy, just like I said with Heather, with a few of you in here, myself included, is just like much higher and more open and inviting. And I really do like to see that. I love how Mark just hands out waffles and bacon. That's good. And you know what, Heather, you're going to have days where you don't feel yourself, but the I don't want to say the point, but like the point is to have more days where you do. It's never going to be like an everyday, I feel good, you know that. But if you're having more of those days where you feel like you're taking no prisoners and you're, kicking butts and taking names and doing your thing, if those days come more often than the days where you feel unappreciated and those type of lower vibrational feelings, then you're winning in my book. Oh my gosh, that's right. It's Monday, St. Pat's. I need to make a corned beef. All right. Heather B., you got Consuming Arts. Card number 28, Express or Die. Bacon pancakes. No, I mean they're slow motion, the opposite, that people feel like energetically higher than they've been in the last few weeks. Myself included, Ghost included. All right, card number 28. My soul is filled with deep music. I wish my body was a harp that I could play endlessly on. I wish my blood contained rivers of heavenly sounds, but my body is just a body and my blood is just red water. Ideas and visions inside my heart, inside my head are consuming me. They long to find their way in the world. I guess it's the same for you. Heather, your inner creativity needs to be expressed in the outer world or else it's going to consume you. You have a vision. Don't let it stagnate into your cells. Don't let it stagnate into the cells of your being. Surrender to your artistic calling. Don't repress your inspiration. Let it flow freely out of you. Keywords are inspiration, ideas, inner creativity to offer the world, need to live for the sake of art, but also painful frustration. So This doesn't necessarily, yeah, Mom, I could tell you made those beautiful cupcakes. This doesn't necessarily mean art, but it definitely could. I feel like this is just whatever makes your soul sing, Heather, whatever you are most passionate about. And there's twofold here. There's whatever you're most passionate about, and also the idea of where your life is going and the steps you need to take. You're in a toxic situation, just like a lot of us are in one way or another, that I know you envision the day you're going to be able to do something about it, like something bigger, right? To be finally either physically free or emotionally, whatever that freedom is for you, even if it's more than one thing. The universe is saying, graduating school, there you go. No matter what this higher vision for your life is, you have to act on it a little bit every day, right? Even when you don't feel like it, or even when you feel like it's useless. And, there are times when I just want to delete my YouTube channel because I feel like 4.5 years, I don't even have 6,000 subscribers. Like, I get really down on myself. But then I'm like, no, I worked really hard to get to where I am. And what am I judging it by, right? It's my own ridiculous standard of what should be. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here, Heather. It's like you get these times, and it's not all the time, but you get these times where you like doubt yourself so much that you can't even see past it for long enough to be able to give yourself credit for everything you've gone through, survived, and everything that you're doing to better your life. It doesn't help when we have people in our lives who never support us, never have a kind word, always criticize. But I feel like you're so far away from that energetically. Like, you have disconnected for the most part. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. If I wasn't doing YouTube, my butt would be in school as well. I've always was such a nerd. I love school. Like, I would go just because I like school. But what this card is saying is, especially in the next 2 weeks, okay, don't let anyone stifle your creativity or like smother your dream. Make sure that you're not over explaining to anyone. You don't have to tell anyone why you're doing what you're doing ever. And if you choose to, all you have to do is be honest, and all you have to do is tell them the truth, right? There is someone here, unfortunately, it's not that they don't believe in you, it's that they want you to think they don't believe in you. What's really going on is they're either jealous, or they're like, oh my gosh, look, I can never be that strong. Like, this person has a real insecurity about themselves. So they can't bear to see you making positive changes, becoming a better person. Trust me, I know what that feels like. Change everything about yourself for the better, and for the person to say, you didn't change much. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very frustrating. And the universe is saying, do not let this person, these people, stunt your growth. You are doing amazing. It's just tremendous the amount that you've accomplished in the last 1.5 to 2 years. Not just physically with school and going to try to better your life and better yourself, mentally, emotionally. And someone is definitely coming in the next 2 weeks to try and destroy it, or to at least destroy your confidence in it. Okay? Don't let that happen. Hold on tight. Eventually, they're just going to give up because they're going to see that there's nothing they're going to say that's going to affect you to the point where you're like, well, I'm not going to go to school then. But that is their goal. Unfortunately, their goal is to destroy your dream, because they either never got to accomplish their dream, or they're unable in some other way to fulfill their goals, right? So say it's like, just for example, it's your parent and they're 75 years old and they never got to go to college. So they're a narcissist or a toxic person. So they're constantly on you about how dumb it is to go to college and how stupid you look being in college, when really they're jealous of you. That's the energy here. Keep that in the back of your head. This person is just jealous that I am a successful person and they're doing whatever they're doing with their life, criticizing others for a living, right? Who's next?
Kelly Lewis.
Unfortunately, after this one, I got to go pee real quick. I know I've been talking a lot, guys. I'm sorry. But try to move them along a little faster. Heck yeah. You're welcome, Heather. All right, Miss Kelly, I'm glad you could make it. I see you on TikTok. I get so excited. I'm like, oh, My TikTok consists of more than just ghost dragons and blue crossroads. Like, I have another gemstone here. Because most of the people over there don't know me from over here. They don't know what I do over here. I didn't go to college because I got married on my 18th birthday and gave birth to my second child a month after I turned 18. So, all right, Kelly. Of course, it's one I have a hard time pronouncing, but it is what it is. So, you got Ame no Uzumi, the card of movement. She's not in my other dark goddess deck. This is a new one for me. I've never heard of this goddess. So she is, after this one, Kelly, I got you. The Japanese goddess of dawn, laughter, and dancing. Kelly, your body is craving expression through movement. Ame no Uzumi is guiding you to listen and find a way to honor it, that fills you with joy. Perhaps it's a quiet walk in nature or a session of stretching, or maybe it's time to put on music and dance. Cast aside the notion of exercise as punishment and instead center pleasure. Movement is a beautiful way to connect with your physical body and express gratitude for all that it's capable of. So, okay, Kelly, I just want to say, too, this has been coming up for a lot of people in personals, but it's coming up in yours now. Watch your body, pay attention to your body, how it feels. If you're constantly getting migraine headaches, if you wake up and suddenly your shoulder hurts and it hurts for like 5 days, don't ignore the little things your body's trying to tell you. Go to the doctor. I know the insurance situation. Like, I don't know your insurance situation. I know it's crazy. If you got to go to the ER, like, if something is persistently bothering you in the next 2 weeks, and this should be always, but I don't go to the doctor ever unless I'm like bleeding excessively or something crazy is happening. But really make sure you get whatever it is looked at. If that comes up, that's the aside to the rest of your reading. I don't know what you're really into, if it's like dancing, yoga, something like that, but the universe is saying you've got to get up and move more. And this could be actual physical movement, or what I'm seeing more is more likely is that this isn't really talking about physical movement. Like, yeah, get up, be more active, exercise, do yoga, like whatever. But what I'm actually seeing is the universe is concerned about a possible failure to move forward in a situation in your life. Okay, so what they're showing me is that like your growth in one area is completely stunted because you're like procrastinating. Like one day you're like, all right, yes, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go, and then within like 3 hours you're like, yeah, well, I can't really do that, so I'm just going to like you're this back and forth about a decision you need to make has got to come to an end within like the next month, because I'm telling you, if you don't make this decision and move forward one way or another, whatever this is, the universe is going to decide for you, right? So that's good. That's good. Be mindful you don't like trip, stub your toe, and like jam it. Like there's some physical thing here with actual movement. But in this decision, yes, slow motion, I hope you dance. With this decision, if you continue to go back and forth on it, or like if you continue to stall at an opportunity, it's really because of fear, right? And sometimes I'll say it too, like I'm more afraid, I think, of succeeding than I am of failing. And I think that's why sometimes I inadvertently self-sabotage, all right? When the universe is forced to choose for you, not making a decision eventually becomes you deciding not to make the decision. It is a decision all its own. And what happens then is the universe looks and says, okay, she went through X, Y, Z, 5, 6, 7 hard lessons in order to get to a point where she practically should be able to make the right decision here, or at least make a decision. But since she's not making it, that means she has to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 really, really hard lessons again. And then maybe she'll learn enough to be able to take this to whatever next level it is. I hope this makes sense. Basically, the failure to make a decision is letting the universe know you haven't been through enough to be able to make the decisions. So you're going to end up kind of screwing yourself and putting yourself back many, many steps, and perhaps and possibly back into a bad situation where you have to go through all the same BS to learn and grow. Instead, good, I'm glad you can relate. Make sure in the next 2 to 4 weeks, like, make decisions and make them confidently, even small ones. Like, be confident about what you're eating for breakfast. And I know that sounds silly, but it'll kind of train your energy to feel confident in all decisions. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay, while she's gone, next will be Blue, then Nut Slap, then Mark, then Mom, then Divine. So there you go. Let me see if I can get something working here. There we go. I don't know what I did. They redid StreamYard and updated it, and it's all screwy, and I barely touched something, and next thing I know, everything's going nuts. So sorry about that, folks. I'm just going to stay on my own side from now on. And yes, it is good to dance. But everybody having a good week so far? Like, waiting for a good weekend? Okay. I see you, Divine. And I see you, Mark. Still awake. Yeah, you shouldn't be too long. Depends on how you know Miss Gabby is. I can still. Go ahead. Type it in there. We'll be waiting a minute. But I hope everybody had a good weekend. It's going to have a good weekend. Storms are moving in. It's starting to get cloudy here.
That means we'll get it in a couple of days.
Yeah, you'll get it Saturday or Sunday. No, you're Sunday or Monday, if you get it.
You know, I remember, Mom, when I was little, even my adult life, when I stayed with you a few years ago, we're always dancing. Always. I remember at my parents' wedding, because I was a little older when they got married. I was like 6, RJ's age. I remember doing this whole dance with my mom at the wedding. Do you remember, Mom? Sylvia. Yes, Mickey. How do you call your lover boy? Come here, lover boy. And my mom and I would go back and forth, and we would do this whole dance. And she taught me how to do the lambada when I was like 5. I just remember always dancing. And my son RJ is always dancing too. My oldest son's a rapper. Smoochie, what's up? Kelly, where are you? Like, as far as like, you can just give like an area if you don't want to say the actual state. Who's next?
Blue.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. We had a lot of dancing and singing, a lot of music in the house when I was growing up. What do we want to do for the love bug? All right. Halloween. I wish we still had those VHS tapes of the wedding. Yeah, Blue, don't hurt yourself. Where's Bat Mom? I hope she's okay. She's always here. California. Oh, I would say lucky because I always wanted to go there, but I don't think me and California would get along very much right now. But, you know, y'all have great weather. And I love the ocean. My eventual goal in life is to live, not obviously like maybe on the ocean one day, but like live by the beach where I can just get up and go to the beach on a whim. Forgiveness, Blue. Reducing burden. A wrong is done, consequences you cannot deny, but to hold a grudge is to drink poison and think the other will die. Being a cold season festival, Halloween is the perfect time to pause and think about how things actually are in our lives and what heavy burdens we do not wish to carry through these harder and leaner times. Some of this heavy-heartedness may relate to old relationships or grievances. Some may relate to negative feelings we hold on to tightly about others, and even a lack of compassion for the quote-unquote mistakes we ourselves have made. It is said that it takes a big person to apologize, but in many ways it takes an even bigger person to forgive. When we hold grudges, the negative energy is incredibly toxic. It is like drinking a poison and expecting the other unforgiven person to die. Whilst we may even harbor feelings of revenge, and to be honest, that does feel good for a while, it's important that we move those feelings along to forgiveness and release them as soon as possible for our own health and well-being. If you have chosen this card, Blue, think about who it is that you could be forgiving, and that could include yourself. There she is. I summoned her. The Bat Mom. Blue, I don't see you as like the unforgiving type, right? I've gotten to know you throughout the years, and I consider you someone I care about very much, and someone I'm very close to. I don't see you as being unforgiving. What I see you as being is like you have your boundaries and you're going to enforce them, and you're confident enough to know that's not a bad thing. You're not wrong for that, right? And I feel like there could be a situation coming up in the next few weeks where you may feel as though those boundaries or your morals, values, there's something here that you feel are being a bit compromised, but not in a good way. Not like you decided to give someone a pass, or you decided to say, you know what, you didn't know that's how I feel about this, so let me explain it to you, because you're not afraid to speak your mind. But there's something here. I feel like somebody is constantly and consistently, or they have in the past, really pushed you to the edge of like being able to reason, right? With manipulation, possibly gaslighting. I feel like this is more about not so much forgiving yourself, but like letting yourself off the hook and understanding that each relationship, friendship, when I say relationship, it doesn't have to be romantic, but it could be. They're all different. Every relationship in our life is different with every single person, right? Even if we have two best friends who we love equally, our relationships with those friends are going to be different. And I feel like you have to kind of release yourself of feelings. Feelings are okay. I'm sorry. This is kind of a lot, so bear with me. So these feelings are going to come up in you, and I feel like they're a little bit of insecurity and a little bit of like unsureness of like, well, I remember the last time I let something like this go with someone, they were manipulating me, or they were lying to me, or they were using me. This is you in the next few weeks finding an understanding of like the relationship you have, the friendships that you have. So say this is a friend, someone you're just getting to know maybe, or someone you're getting to know better, where it's like maybe they're behaving in a way that's familiar to you, but this is the universe telling you you've got to separate each and every person as an individual and do your very, very best not to conflate how this person is with how the toxic person was. Does this make sense? So like, for example, say you had an ex-best friend who always asked to borrow money. They never paid you back, and you found out they were using all the money all the time on a drug habit you didn't know about. Just say. Now you have a new friend and they really need help, so they ask for money a lot, and you don't think that they're lying to you, but it's always in the back of your head, like, are they doing drugs? Are they going to pay me back? Are they lying? Are they manipulating? Like all of these things. And this is the universe telling you, you don't have to worry about that. This person, this situation, this friendship, this whatever it is completely different. But you have to really forgive the other person so you can let go of this burden of comparison. And forgive yourself for any wrongs you think you may have done in dealing with this person for so long, or letting it get so out of control, whatever the case may be. I hope this makes sense to you, because I'm trying to kind of explain it, but I don't think I'm explaining it properly. Salvador, what's up? No problem. No problem. Who's next?
Nut slap.
Guys, if you're not a member, just let us know that you're paid. If you can't or don't want to pay, that's fine, because we'll do you at the end regardless. That's why you are my girls, okay? Batmom says forgiveness is easier when a hit and run is involved. Just saying. I'm so sorry. Who did you say is next?
Sorry, my screen froze. Nut slap.
I was gonna say, did you freeze? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, I did. I froze.
Nut slap. I'm gonna use the Oracle of Shadows and Lights. Thank you, Salvador. I've had a great day so far. Cooking. All right, let's see. I am Callie. From death comes rebirth. Card number 13, Slappy. Kali is the blue-skinned Hindu goddess of birth, death, and rebirth. Here she represents the destruction phase of this natural cycle, and her role is to clear away all that is no longer needed. She is often depicted dancing with swords, and she is said to cut off the head of those who do not heed the necessity of moving through these natural cycles. Her necklace of severed heads represents the end of slavery to the overthinking, over-analytical self who gets stuck when all that is needed is action. That is so many of us, because we're always considering so many people, right, in our decisions. And sometimes it's selfish to only consider ourselves, but for the most part, we should be putting ourselves first, even in decisions, because we're the ones who have to live with the choices we make. This goddess is very strong, Nut Slap. She's very powerful, and in many ways, she's extremely protective, though her fierce nature can often frighten timid souls who fear decisive action. Present. As she is a mother goddess, she helps with issues to do with brothers and sisters, teachers and parents, and will help with painful transitions. Once received in a message, Kali energy is already activated. Let go and allow her to assist you in releasing all that is no longer needed and in taking powerful action to change your life. Kali speaks, I am the dancer who moves through the fire, who wields my sword and severs the cords of energy that entangle you, and who is not afraid of the death that needs to happen. Kali connection, every time I pull a Kali card, my mom pops up. We all have a god or goddess we are connected to. Mom, I think she's yours. Every act of destruction is an act of creation, and this is no act of pointless destruction and brutality. I am clearing all that is leeching off your energy, draining your strength, and abrading those relationships that cannot do anything but keep you stuck. Whether you realize it or not, you called on me, and I have come to clear the path, to destroy that which you have longed to let go of. Something's time has come, and it will be born again. As nothing ever truly dies, it only changes. And that time has come. I am pure fire energy and the great mother, and as I dance, the death you face brings you to new life. My goddess is Hecate, the psychopomp, because she guides people out of darkness. Good night, slow motion. Love you. Thank you for stopping in. Divination message. Nutslap, working with Kali is extremely powerful, but it is work we all do and we all must do. If you have drawn this card, you are working with the energy of the fire of the dancing mother goddess, who will teach you how to go through the changes you have been resisting and feeling were way too much, and who will purify and change everything. You must not stay still with this energy. Movement is essential for working with her, and her fierce nature is, in fact, a test of your own strength. Can you do what needs to be done and still dance? Can you rejoice in the purification of stale energy? Can you walk forward without hesitation? Can you say yes to what will come for you on the other side of Kali's fire? And will you wear your lessons proudly as she does her necklace, and know that this death is an incarnation within an incarnation, a new life within this lifetime born of fire? So I'm going to give you the perfect example from my life. My addiction. That was literally the hardest thing I ever had to do, was get clean. I didn't want to. I always said, like, I will die like this, and I would marry it if I could, and no one's ever going to come between me and it. That was it for me. I did not care. I would give thought to the people I was hurting, and I'd be like, well, I don't spend time with them anyway. So, you know what I mean? Like isolating myself from people. There was always an excuse. And this isn't about addiction. I'm just giving you guys the example. Like it was the most painful thing in the world. But once I finally started going through it, I found myself, who I really am, what I was meant to do. And even though I'm not 100% there yet, I'm at least on my way to going where I was meant to go in my life. And Nutslap, you are stuck, stale, and stagnant in many areas of your life right now. That's not a judgment or an indictment because a lot of us are. But there's one area in particular, Nutslap, where I feel like you're almost desperate to change it. But you don't want to acknowledge that desperation because that would mean you'd have to figure out a way to change something. And for as much as you may be uncomfortable or unhappy with a certain area of your life, it's your life. You're comfortable in it, right? Being comfortable in the uncomfortability, like an abused woman who refuses to leave her abuser. At least it's something, right? I'd rather feel pain than nothing at all. At least I have a roof over my head. At least I know where my next meal is coming from. But the whole time you're just going through the motions and we talked about this a lot last week. You're merely surviving. So even if this doesn't fit with your whole life generally, like as a whole, there's a particular area of your life that if you really think like, you know, it needs to change and you know that, yes, Batmom, energy and work, you have to put the work towards it, but it's like, you're too tired. You're already doing too much. And like, at the end of the day, you're not hurt where you are, you know, it's better than nothing. And it's like, no, like it's time for you to really put yourself out there and take decisive action in transmuting whatever this is. So, for example, if you're lonely and want a relationship, really making the decision to get out there and start dating somehow. Or if you know that you're just miserable in your job and there's no room for promotion, like being like, you know what, I'm not going to quit my job till I have another one, but I'm going to grind every spare minute to get this new job. Once you make this one change that seems very major, but in the grand scheme of things is actually minor, it's one thing. Once you change this one thing, everything in your life is going to change with it for the better. But the longer you sit and just survive and just keep your head above water, having some fun sometimes, the longer you're going to stay stuck like that, because Callie's not going to hang around forever with this insight and this vision that she's giving to you. Basically, Nutslap, this is saying, if you want something, find a way to get it, decide to get it, and go effing get it. Mark Halstead?
Yes. Then your mom after that.
Mark, I'm going to use Into the Lonely Woods. Balls to the walls, from the window to the wall. Blessed Reunion, card number 20. I love the little creatures on these. They're so cute. Mark, when the reunion comes, it will be blessed and pure and so full of joy that you will not regret the time that took you from each other, the time you have and will have moving forward, so full of love and kindness, of recognition and support, will be yours and will continue all the days of your life. This moment really matters. This is love in full bloom. This is the heart song finding its harmonic companion in another. This is life as a tapestry woven of love. You are held, supported, seen, and heard. You will be known again, and this partnership will have more soul substance than any other relationship you've ever previously created. This reunion, the union of two renewed souls, is blessed. So let's talk about it. This could be, I love you guys. You are my people. This could be you actually, Mark, reuniting with somebody extremely important, special, and soul bound to you. If someone's coming in from the past and you feel good about it, let them in. It's going to change your life. What I'm seeing more so, though, is I do feel like you're receiving visitation from spirit, from ancestral guides, and also from deceased loved ones that you may or may not have even known. Okay. They're trying to give you, sorry, my hair is bothering me, a message of change and of gratitude, of not fearing what's coming next. So there's major changes about to happen in your life, and I do feel like they have to do with your physical health. I'm not sure if it's positive or negative. There's something you may have a hard time dealing with, hearing, handling in the next month or two. And I feel like the universe is saying here, like, if you can reunite with people from your past and like feel good about that, that's going to be amazing. One person in particular, but more than that, I'm seeing just talk to your deceased loved ones. Tell them what you want, what you need, how you feel about losing them, and bring them in, and then listen to what they have to say. Pay extra attention to your dreams, your daydreams, and your meditations, because I know you go into trance, I believe, sometimes, and you astral travel. Like, there's a major message here of hope and of connection and of not having to face the future, which I feel like in some ways you're very fearful of, by yourself. The last thing you need to be feeling in the next 2 months is alone. This is saying reach out. There are so many people around you that will support you that you're not even thinking about, particularly in spirit, but here on the physical realm as well. I want to stress, if people reach out from the past, if you run into someone from your past, obviously make sure it feels right. But I do feel like, as unbelievable as it might seem to you, there is someone coming in here that is really going to make a difference in your life in the next few months as you go through some really major struggles. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, like major struggles are coming. But when we get through the major struggles, that's when we move into awakening. So you just got to bear with for the next 2 months or so. And then you're going to be renewed and moving into the next phase of your life. You're never, ever alone. And that's the point here. Mom, I'm going to use Queen Mabe. Blue, I think it's time to, as best you can, let that go. And I know some of it will always stick with you, but I feel like you've just gone through so much change energetically, like for the better, putting yourself in a higher spirit, in a higher state of being, that you don't need to carry that anymore. All has been forgiven except by you forgiving yourself. Give me 1 sec. I just want to check private chat. I don't know why it's not going. There it goes. How do you know if someone is visiting you? Okay, so a song will play that you'll be like, oh, that's a coincidence. I was just thinking of the person who I'm connected to through this song. Or you could start to like see their name everywhere. You could think you hear their voice, or they are so on your mind, almost to where it's like an obsession. That's them trying to get your attention, like, hey, I'm here. You can't physically see them, but you'll know. The problem with human beings, the problem, quote unquote, is that we always talk ourselves out of it, right? So, for example, when I'm yelling and screaming at my son Damien's father, who's in spirit, and I can't see him because my grief has built a wall between me and the 4 or 5 people I would like to communicate with. suddenly one of our songs, or a song that reminds me of him, will pop on. And as humans, we have a tendency to go, wow, what a coincidence. Like, no, that is that person saying, I'm listening, I'm here. Like, what do you need? I'll never forget this, guys. Mom, give me a second, because I think this story is really important. When I was in addiction, I used to hang out with a man named Steve, believe it or not. Or that they leave silver change around as well. So I used to hang out with a man named Steve. Steve was in his 60s when I met him, in his 70s when I was in my addiction. And he would pick me up every single morning, drive me to Patterson, cart me around all day, take me wherever I needed to go, give me money, bring me to his house and let me see. Like, this guy was my B word, but he was my best friend in the entire world. Right. I loved this man so much. And he really did love me. He was there for the birth of one of my children because nobody else was there except my mom. He was just, if I was there, Steve was there, period. And I remember we were talking and he was like, I'm really worried. You're going to be some age soon. And I know you're obsessed with Marilyn and I know how she died. And I'm worried that you're not going to make it. Like, and I'm like, just because you're going to outlive us all. And he's like, I swear, when I die, the day I die, I'm going to walk up to Jesus and I'm going to tell him, what about my friend? She's dying down there. And I'm going to make him look at you. I will be damned if the day after I found out he passed away was the last day I ever used a drug. True story. Is that a coincidence, or did he really go up and tell Jesus what is going on with her? Like, we need to help her. Good. No, it's true. He really did. And I remember laughing and I'm like, you're going to outlive us all. And the crazy part was his son was a cop and his wife she hated me. They all thought we were having an affair and it was not like that. He just knew I had a problem and he knew me way before I was in addiction. So he knew like who I was and like what became of me. He did everything for me, but he didn't care. But what happened was I left his house one day to go do laundry and I ended up, a long story, but I tried calling him for like weeks and he didn't pick up. And that wasn't him. If he didn't pick up immediately, call me right back. I found out a few months later he passed of cancer. He was very sick, but we didn't know what was going on at the time. His family kept me from him all that time, like 6 months. And I had to find out by Googling his name because I just had a feeling he died. I'm like, there's no way I didn't hear from him in all this time. I kind of feel his spirit around me, like something's not right. And sure enough, I Googled it and he passed. All right, Mom, I'm ready for you. Venus in the Sky, card number 42. Mom, be magnetic, as if you could be anything else. You possess a uniquely mesmerizing beauty. Embody it now for your own personal enjoyment and to bless the world with divine light. Slow motion, I'm all in. Mom, Venus is the goddess of love and the brightest planet in the sky. In both these roles, she both receives and broadcasts radiance. It is as if she is swimming in an ocean of brilliance, absorbing it, sharing it, and reveling in it. As she both bathes in and blesses the world with divine luminosity, she leverages these polarities of receiving and giving to continually increase her own glorious glow. Be a devotee of your own magnificence, Mom. Cherish the goddess-like beauty within you. Cleanse away anything that limits your shine. Patiently coax your inherent sparkle with relaxation, inspiration, self-adornment, and self-care. I love this reading for you because it's so fitting. Divine Empathic, you're next, baby girl. Mom, essentially, you must find the energy of magnetism, sweetness, and attraction within you. You can then easily use that energy to draw love, romance, attention, abundance, and anything else you desire. The goddess of love does not restrict her charms to the young or to the conventionally attractive girl. My mom was a fox back in the day. I met so many men that were like, I was so in love with your mother. I was so in love with your mother. Still to this day on Facebook, they're like, where's your mom? She blesses and dwells within all of us. We can all call on her and utilize her magic. This intrinsic current of romance can inspire us to take exciting chances, make positive changes, and see and experience the mystery and majesty of life and existence. No matter what your questions or current situation, Mom, your answer is this: access the quality of divine beauty within. Invoke the love goddess, surrender to her, and let her take over. Fall in love with nature, with music, with colors, with textures, with scents. Slowly savor smooth chocolate or sweet fruit. Sway to a hypnotic beat. So again, we're talking about dancing. Gaze at the sunlight dancing on the sea. Once you are well and truly flowing and shining with the goddess's beauty, your momentum will effortlessly carry you toward the sweetest and loveliest of hands. Mom, this is so fitting. I hope you're still listening, but if you're not, Ghost, just write down the time in case. So, Mother, what this card is saying is something was awakened in you, right? Your heart chakra was set on fire. Your soul started to yearn again and like live again in love, right? Or maybe what you thought was love. You have kind of in the last year or so, maybe the last 8 to 9 months, reclaimed your femininity. You reclaimed your womanhood. And I know this may sound corny to a lot of people, but I don't want to give out too much of my mom's personal info, but my mom has been through a lot. I feel like now, instead of saying like you always used to, oh, I don't want, I do not want to be involved with any man again. Like, I feel like you're open to the idea of companionship now. What this card is trying to tell you is in the next few weeks, get to know yourself even better. What do you bring to the table? What are you willing to accept, and where do you draw the line? And are you willing to draw it? I feel like there's a chance here that you could fall back into old patterns of like allowing people to just take advantage of you, manipulate you, and cross your boundaries over and over again, because you have a really big heart. You're a Cancer sun. The emotion is everywhere, right? I actually want to do your chart because I want to find out what your moon and rising are and where your Venus is. So this is the universe telling you, like, get to know yourself in the next few weeks, because there is love coming in, whether that's a really great friend and companionship or whether that's actual romantic love. There's an interest here. There's somebody coming in, and you have to know who you are. Again, what you bring to the table, what you will and won't accept, and place those boundaries down and not move them. Do not move the goalpost for anyone, because anyone that deserves to be in your life will respect your boundaries immediately, even if they don't understand them, even if they don't agree with them, and even if they're annoying to them, right? Because they love and respect you as a woman and as a person, they're going to be like, well, I don't really get that, but if it bothers you that much, I'm not going to do it. That's the type of energy you want, because that's the type of energy you have. You're not going to go out of your way to piss someone off, manipulate someone, lie to someone. Like, that's just not who you are as a human being. But I feel like because you're so open and receptive right now and just so in your element, there's a possibility that you're going to attract all sorts of not so good people, men particularly. But as long as you continue taking care of yourself, putting yourself first, and getting to know yourself, and that's putting yourself first even above your kids, Mom. We're all adults now. Okay? You have to put yourself first. Once you can really do that, you can be confident in yourself. Then you can be confident in love, in life, in friendship, and in everything that you do. Beware of some manipulative, toxic person coming back in and trying to kind of manipulate the story. Mom, you were there. You know how things happened, okay? Don't let it. You're not desperate for someone to pay attention to you. You get hit on more than I do when we're out, right? So you don't have to accept less than, not ever again. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to freaking make sure you don't. Just love yourself, give your energy to yourself, do the things you want to do. Don't be afraid. And And love's going to come to you because I do see it circling around. You're just going to have to pick through the barrel of rotten apples and find the good one. Nikki! Nick Y, what is up? Who's next?
Next is Divine.
Divine, I got your satellite bracelet on. Love it. Divine, I'm going to use the new Dark Goddess. New Englander Rhodey said, so Mom, what are you doing tomorrow night? Mom is going to be at a bingo party with yours truly tomorrow night, sir. It's ladies only, though. You might actually be closer to Mom than you are to me, Netter. She's in PA, though. Don't worry, I'm not going to say where. Tell him beat it, creep. My mom has this thing where, like, she will not have a problem with telling you to go crap in your hat, right? Like, she does not care. But when it comes to love, she's, like a lot of us, so giving that, like, she's very easy to manipulate and take advantage of, you know? And that's not a judgment. I'm the same way. A lot of us are like that, male and female, because our hearts are really pure. And we forget that not everyone has the same heart, even if they have a light. Sorry, these cards aren't shuffling right. The Steelers tattoo. It's going to stink worse than a New Jersey dumpster fire this year. I wear it proudly. Never going to happen. No, Mom, I don't mean it like that, right? Divine, I know you have to hurry. Just give me a second. What I mean is, we're adults now. So unless we need something right now and we really need you, there's no reason for you to be not doing this because you think I might not approve, or not doing that because Damien might get upset, or not doing that because you don't know what Carol might feel. Like, it needs to be about you. Of course, like, if we need you, of course you be there for your kids. This isn't a selfish thing. It's about you considering your wants and your needs above what other people want for you and need from you. All right, Divine, you got Artemis, the card of independence, and I am glad to see it. RJ's like, when are you giving Grandma her Christmas gifts? I said, I'm going to give them to her Saturday. He's like, you better. She needs to get them. You know. Okay, no problem, Divine. I got you. You can create your own rules and forge your own path in life. Artemis encourages you to embrace and use their invaluable skills and resources that are unique to you and all your own. Be sure to structure your life in a way that supports your desires and goals. Don't be afraid of disappointing others or breaking away from the herd to pursue the life you want for yourself. This is exactly what I was just telling my mother. Trust in yourself and your abilities. Don't be afraid to go for it alone. So, Divine, this is very close to what I was saying to my mom in a way. Not that I really see much romantic love around you right now. You're very focused on other things, and that's okay. What this is saying, though, is all you have to consider in life right now, aside from your young child, as far as you personally, all you have to consider right now is, how does Divine feel about this? What does Divine want? And again, it's not in a selfish way. It's not choosing things. I know you will, Mom. And I'll never steer you wrong. Sometimes I am afraid to, like, tell you, like, the bad things I see, because I want things to turn out, like, different. I don't know. I'm sorry. Okay. I'll talk to you more about that tomorrow. Divine, I'm sorry. It's not in a bad way. It's not in a selfish way. It's just like, why do you need to consider what someone else thinks about a decision you're making? Yes, like my mom said, I'll always ask your opinion. If you trust someone and you want, like, an unbiased, I'm going to tell you the truth no matter what answer, you go to that person. But at the end of the day, it still is on you to decide what's best. And if your instinct and intuition are telling you to go one way and everyone in your life is screaming for you to go to the other, Divine, you have to make that decision. And I think a major decision is coming up. Julie girl, I got something to tell you when I'm done with this reading. Something's coming up. I would say, like, they're showing me 4, 5, 6. So, like, I know that doesn't make any sense to y'all, but like 2 months, 2 to 2.5 months. So 4 to 6 weeks time. Better late than pregnant, as I always say, where I feel like there's a decision deep down inside that is right, like, but not because in your mind. You just instinctively in your intuition, in your being, feel like I need to do this, or I need to do this way, or whatever it is. When your mind, everyone around you, they're like, they can't comprehend why. And you may even be to the point where you can't comprehend why in your mind. All you know is that it just feels like the right thing. And divine, I urge you to follow your intuition. Your team, your guides, your ancestors, your angels are all telling you, like, this doesn't need to make mental human sense. If spiritually it feels like what you need to do, please do it. If you don't, you're going to be fine. You'll live, right? Literally. But it's going to take you a lot longer to get where you want and need to be if you don't just follow your instinct. This is also a spiritual lesson you're learning, divine, and you are on your way, girl. From when I first met you a few years ago to now, you are like night and day in the best possible way, literally from darkness to light. And I'm just so proud of you. You inspire me. I really, really hope that you follow your instinct and don't let the pressure of your mind, which will overthink regardless of what your chart looks like or your sign is, and regardless of what everyone else is telling you. This will be really and truly allowing your guides to guide you. It's what they do. It's what they're here for. It's what you contracted them to do when you were in the 5th dimension doing your contract. Let them work. You're welcome, sweet girl. Melissa, you did not miss this earlier, but I'm here. Smile, bacon, pancakes. All right. So, Jules, don't be mad. I didn't get your box out until Wednesday, but I'm going to give you the tracking number for it tomorrow. I always tell people, give it 7 to 10 days. If it doesn't show up by then, check on it, or I can call and check on it. All right. I was waiting for something to arrive that I really wanted to put in there. It didn't show up, which just a little extra. It's nothing that like is involved with like the spiritual stuff we're doing. It's just something that was cute and I thought you might want. It was supposed to be here on Tuesday. When it didn't show up, I just mailed it Wednesday. I want to mail you those earrings when they get here, no matter what you say. I saw them and literally was told they're yours. So I'm going to send them to you with the other little thing when it shows up. So I'm sorry it was 2 days late, but it was for a good cause. And I put some really cool stuff. I put one little special thing in there that I really hope, I think when you open it, you'll be like, oh my gosh, like, you know, it's special. Salvador, good night. Yes, Smoochie. Instagram is like my in-between TikTok and YouTube, where like TikTok, I'm just all mouth. I say what I mean what I say, no filter, and Oracle. And then YouTube is like, I try to remain spiritual and impartial and not other or anybody. No, I did not dance naked last night in the blood moon. Guys, don't forget, let me know if you paid by putting the $sign in the chat. If you can't or don't want to pay, that's fine. You just go at the end. No biggie. If you can donate more than $2 to make sure I get paid for the hard work I do, PayPal and Cash App. If you can't, no shade, no problem. Mike J isn't here either. Who's next?
Nutter. New England Dirt Roadie.
Nutter butter.
Yeah, Nutter butter. I like the Nutter butter peanut cookies.
Oh, I love those.
Giles takes the whole bag and it disappears.
Oh, Mom, you surely do, by the way, know who I'm talking about. Don't let it happen. You deserve so much better. Like, just in life in general, you've been through too much crap to have to put up with more. And he better not play with me. I'm a witch. I'm a Christian witch, but, you know, Aunt Edna's grandson got that college scholarship, didn't he?
Yeah. Plus, you got backup, too.
I got a lot of
backup.
All right, New England, I'm using angels and ancestors. Yep, no worries, Bat Mom. I was just putting it out there. I have to mention it a few times for people who might be listening and who might be, no, not a creation witch. A Christian witch. And yeah, you can judge that if you want. I'm used to it, but I know who and what I am. There's no way I was born like this for no reason, right? Netter, you got mountains. Stand your ground. Yes, Hecate. The psychopomp. I'm very connected to her. I always have been. I realized recently that she's one of the visitors I've had my whole life. Like one of the guides. Not like my guide, like she's guiding me all the time, but she has shown up, and I didn't know she was for a really long time until I understood her role in Greek mythology. And then I understood why she was so kind of attached to me. I don't like call or anything. I don't worship gods and goddesses. It's just not my thing. So, all right, guys, real quick. I've got one more freeze-dried Jolly Rancher. No, I did not show the card yet. Smoochie, that's okay. I don't ever expect, like, my friends, my family to just, like, be the exact same as me, right? I think that's what makes this community so beautiful, is that we can all come together like this and be awesome and amazing, but all have such totally different beliefs. Now, being someone who's seen the other side, who's spoken to spirits, who's met my guides in person, like, I know what's going on. But your lived experience could be something completely different, and you believe in what you believe in. All right, Netter. Hold firm to what you believe in or are focusing on, because it's absolutely right. Know that heaven and earth are supporting you. Mountains are strong and wise. They are rooted deep in the earth and reach high into the sky. They have been where they are for thousands of years. They have been home to animals. They have been climbed by humans, and they have seen seasons come and go. No matter what has happened to them, they have remained strong, immovable, and unshakable, and so they offer the spiritual energies of strength and resilience. It is a nice card. Smoochie, smoochie. Mountain energy is powerful because it's firmly rooted in the Great Mother and reaches high to the Great Father. If you're feeling challenged or pressured at this time, know that your spirit is more powerful than you think. You are resilient and grounded, and the energy and air of the mountains is giving you the unshakable strength to be who you are. Take time to root yourself deep in the energy of the earth before welcoming in the energies of heaven. If you're not sure what you need to do next, Netter, the mountain card invites you to stay exactly where you are, talk things over with those around you, and know that change will come to you. You will be whole and well at the end of this current situation, and it will not stand in the way of your future growth and expansion. I mean, I don't want to say anything like, I told you so. Thank you, Batmom. But I tell you this all the time, right? I know you're lost. I know you're lonely. I know you're like confused, but you still are very, very strong. You still believe what you believe and want what you want, even if right now you're not really sure how to go about getting it, right? Yeah, this is the universe telling you you're supposed to be the way you are right now. Like, this is all happening for your greater growth. This is all happening now, so it never has to happen again. So once you're firmly rooted in where you need to be with who you need to be with, or want, need or want, or both, that's going to be it. Like, you're walking into a spiritual awakening that's going to be almost permanent. It doesn't mean there won't be any more dark nights or problems, but there will never, ever be another time where you just are like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know where I'm supposed to be. I don't know. This is what you've charted for yourself. You are right on your path. You are right on track. I know you live, like, you had a Bigfoot sighting the other day. You almost got me with that one. Get out in the woods, right? And if that's not your cup of tea, just spend more time outside. The fresh air. Spend more time talking out loud to your guides outside. Listening to, and this is going to sound so crazy, the whispers of the wind, right? What is spirit telling you? This is not going to be much longer. I don't know what the change is going to be yet. I can't see that far ahead. But there is going to be a major change where something just clicks or something just happens, or the most random of events, Seth, where your whole life is just going to change in that moment, and you're not going to, like, you don't realize it at the time, right? Like when you meet somebody and it's just a regular thing that's happening. And then 10 years down the line, you're married to that person and you guys have a whole life, and you think back like, oh my gosh, what if I wasn't in that exact place at that exact time to meet this person? That's what you're creating right now. The energy around you is of bringing in the permanent. I love this. I'm really excited about it because I feel like it's about time for all of us, but for you specifically, this is going to be mega. But again, it's going to be such a slow burn. Like you meet someone, someone comes back from your past, or you just happen to go somewhere and bump into somebody. Like there's such a random event coming that it's not going to immediately click until your whole life has changed and you trace it back to that instance. Whether it's a person or an opportunity or whatever it is. I'm just using a person as an example because I know in my life, I think back to where I am now goes all the way back to one point. Being half passed out in the rain in a strapless sundress, lying in the dumpster crying and wanting to die. And then this little red truck drove by and he rolled down the window and said, "Hey, are you okay? Do you need help?" Yes, I do, sir. Actually, I told him to go F himself, but he didn't go F himself. So here I am today, right? And if that didn't happen, if I decided not to go out that day, or if I didn't collapse right there, or if I didn't just feel like giving up in that exact moment, where would I be? I don't know. And that's the energy of what I'm seeing for you. Who's next?
I was actually talking to Ashley.
You're slacking off on work at work?
Yeah, I'm slacking, man. Slacking like it.
Tired.
Okay, bye. See you.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm taking my chocolate pretzels and I'm leaving. Actually, Ashley's next. I don't know if she's gonna listen. She's got a lot going on, but that's go ahead and I'll write it down. I know she had it on, but she's also playing games with Little Man, so
no problem. We got her.
So
I'm gonna use Dark Goddess. Net or no. Please don't. I don't know that he was trolling, but he might have been. Who knows? It's funny because a few days before that, I was walking around. I used to walk around Patterson when I was going back and forth to get my stuff, and I would read. I would read while I was walking. And a few days before that, he almost hit me because I was reading the Bible, my recovery Bible, and I was walking across the road and I didn't look. And I slammed on the hood of his truck and gave him the finger, and he gave me the finger back, and I kept walking. And then a few days later is when the gutter incident happened. All right, Melissa, I see you. You got baby dragon Maeve. Ooh, don't do that, Gemma. This is the card of determination. Dependency does not make sense. Be brave and climb down from that fence. A natural leader shows the way. Determination saves the day. By the power of the dark goddess in me, protection in place, blessed be. Baby dragon, taking charge of your life is something that only you can do if you really want to change the direction things are heading in. You have been hedging your bets for too long, sitting on the fence, following along with the herd. You have allowed too many others to tell you what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and what to think about it. But you don't lack determination of any of the abilities to work things out for yourself. It's just you've been determined all this time to let others take the lead for you. Maeve is your inner warrior, and she has come to fill you with the fighting spirit you now need to make the decisions that you have given over to others for too long. Awaken your zest for life, your drive for the joys of physical interaction, your determination to once again become the shining light, the life, and the soul of the party. A life-changing offer is imminent. You will be forced to choose between two people. A promotion or job change presents itself. A local political career beckons. Take charge of a domestic situation. Invitations will come thick and fast. Plan well, and you can make the most of all of them. Okay. The devil went down to South Carolina, and he was looking for a soul to steal. Okay. Ashley, I don't think like you're purposely like shirking responsibility here. In fact, I feel like you've taken on so much responsibility that you're stuck. You're so used to being the one making the decisions, making the rules, making sure others enforce them, do this, do that. Ashley, or I'm sorry, baby dragon. What the universe is telling you is that in the next couple of weeks, it's time for you to really take charge. Not because anyone's putting pressure on you to make a decision, not because someone's telling you that you need to. Even the universe is like, don't take our word for it, right? Our, as if it's a person. You're going to feel it in your spirit. Even if right now you feel so low, you're like, no energy, I don't want any more responsibility. This is about you getting back control, but only doing the things that are necessary for you to do or that you want to do. You're not having any fun in your life. There's way too much worry around you. Worry literally shows up to me like gray, like fog. So not like regular fog, like a little bit darker. And when I see it on someone's energy, you are covered in it as though like there's a fire around you and you have smoke all over you. Okay? You have got to clear this away. Don't let other people put their responsibilities on you. Okay? Oh, there you are. This is about you saying, you know what? That's just not my problem. It's not my problem. That's and not in a mean way. Just like, dude, handle it yourself. I'm going to take care of what is necessary for me to take care of, and I'm going to make time for myself. I feel like you are finally fed up enough to the point where you don't really care if you're offending people. And honestly, if you offend someone, they deserve it. Because at this point, whoever this is has put you through so much. I don't think you're choosing between two people, as in like there's two love interests and you got to pick one. You're choosing between yourself and someone else. Someone who has not made your life easier, someone who has pressured you to make decisions you weren't ready to make, somebody who has put everything on you so that if anything goes wrong, they can blame you instead of helping you through it. This is not a partner. And I don't know if this is your husband or not. And if it is, I apologize. Maybe this is just a phase or something. That's the attitude to have, because you don't mean you don't care anymore. I feel like it's just this one situation you're done caring about because there's no reciprocity in the energy. There's no reciprocation. And I feel like subconsciously you're finally becoming aware of that, right? Like, why am I giving so much to this? And then these other things, I'm worried about these that they're lacking. But really, if you take all the energy you're pouring into this one person who's not giving anything back, or this one situation that's not giving any reward, you can take all that energy, put more towards each other thing, and still have time for yourself. You have to make time for yourself. And the time for yourself is going to come. I don't mean to point. That's just how I talk. My son hates when I do that. It's going to come from you snatching your energy back from what and or whoever this is. You are going to drown in worry, and like I literally see you just giving up completely in a bad way. If you don't make the decision now to just say, you know what? Again, that's just not my problem. It's okay to say that when someone's trying to use, abuse, and manipulate you. Sorry, my lips are dry. Actually, I have to find my gloss. Where are you, lip gloss? Oh, no. Oh, no. That's so weird. I usually keep it right here.
Sure it didn't get thrown through your phone? pretzels, books.
No, that's so weird. I always keep it right here. I'm sorry, guys. My lips are just really bothering me, but I guess. Oh, here it is. Here's one of them anyway. Not the one I wanted, but I'll take it. Jules, I got you. You're gonna be soon. I'm sure of it.
She's next, and then
Okay.
Melissa.
All right, we got Jules and then Melissa. So guys, just hang around. Ashley, you're stronger than you give yourself credit for, and I think that's because you've been in something. Obviously, I don't think you're raised that way because your mom, I've never actually met her, but she amazes me by all the stories I hear about her and just her energy in general. I've had to speak to her, I think, one time when something was up with your dad. She's amazing. Your father, obviously, like I would literally, I don't know if I'd be alive without him. He's so incredible. You got that spirit in you. You just have to find it. And I feel like you finally are like, look, I am a human and I can only take so much. And you know what? Good for you. I kind of respect that you, I mean, this is going to sound bad, but bear with me. I say this because I've been through it. You've loved so hard and so deep and so much that you've literally given every single ounce. And now, after that, after you've drained yourself dry and allowed this other person or situation to do the same, you have nothing left to give, so you can't anymore. And I know that's bad because we're not supposed to let people drain us. We're not supposed to give that much and really put ourselves out there. But it was in the name of like love or commitment. All right, Mother, I'll see you tomorrow. I can't wait to give you your gifts. I got Aunt Teresa something small but really cute that I think she'll like. And I got the bingo gift. So, Baby Dragon, you're not wrong. Julie Girl, I'm going to use Sisters of the Sea. My mom's so funny. The other day I called her and I'm like, I can't go to the bingo party because I don't want to spend the night away from RJ. Me and my boy don't spend nights apart. That's my baby. He doesn't like being without me. I don't like being without him. My mom's like, oh, that sucks. I really want you to come. She's like, but I understand, no big deal. She's like, call your sister and let her know she doesn't have to pick you up because I don't drive. I call my sister and I'm like, I can't go. My sister's like, why? I'm like, well, I'm not going to leave RJ for a night. I'm just not going to do that. And she's like, we're not staying overnight. I was dropping you off home. I'm like, why didn't my mom tell me that? My mom's like, I don't know. I was confused. That's just mom. Yeah, it does ruin people. I've had it done to me in pretty much every relationship I was ever in. And I waited until that last drop was gone. And in one case, it went beyond being completely drained. It just went to like, I am a zombie and have to do something. I don't know. People ask me how I get on YouTube. That this is how YouTube started for me. I was lonely and I needed connection. There are videos I privatized where I was just crying into the camera saying, I'm so alone. I'm so lonely. Seriously. There are videos of me doing that. Just sitting in a chair in the middle of the room crying. All right. You said, yeah, Jules. Jules, you got mighty. Girl, don't be nervous. You got that box coming. Now, here, I want to tell you something before I do your reading. And I wrote it in the little card I put in the boxes because I still don't have my printer set up. I privatized them, Nutslap. But I can send you one. Seriously, it's true. I really was. So, Jules, the scents, I tried to do a really nice one. I did the blue sage on your crystal car diffuser thing hanger. And then your roller, I did candy cane because I did not have the mix that I had used previously. In your spray, I made it smell as good as I possibly could, keeping in mind what we're trying to use it for. So I used tobacco, leather, oats, and cinnamon. And it smells really good. It's more of a scent I would create for a guy normally. But because we're trying to get rid of attachment, I thought those ingredients were the best with the snowflake obsidian and garnet crystals inside. Because I created them. I only privatized them so that nobody tried to use them against me in any way. I have like 25 or 30 videos of me talking about addiction, recovery. I also privatize those.
And
There's
actually,
a lot
they're
more
really
videos.
good videos. They had a lot of information in them, but I
Yeah.
get it why she did it.
It was me going through articles and talking about how laws were changing, the war on drugs, how that started, how terrible it was for our country. I talked about the law. I talked about a lot. There's a lot more videos on my channel than y'all can see. They're private. I talked about when Damien's father accidentally killed someone, what I went through. I talked about a lot, guys. I got real personal, and I was like, I never expected people to like be like this with me. Jules, mighty, unseen by human eyes are the warrior mermaids, the keepers of the old temples of Lemuria, the guardians of the Atlantean zones. They are utterly focused on their purpose with strength and stillness that are unshakable. There is a grace in their commitment and in their unbreakable bond with the pledge they made so long ago to protect what is most precious about the ancient energies. And so they patrol. They're vigilant, they're fierce, and they don't forget. So too, Jules, can you bring this energy to a task at hand? It may be a challenge set by fate, one you are daunted by, and makes you wonder how you can return from this seeming setback. Let the warrior mermaids lend you their strength. Be inspired by their gaze that pierces the gloom of the depths and sees what must be seen far ahead. You are this mighty, and you are this strong. You can quiet your mind and bring your whole being into stillness that is strong. And if you are feeling vulnerable, Jules, that you have nothing about you to protect you, know this warrior mermaid and her trident is at your service. See her swim around your energy field with trident spearing the world's hurts and worries, transforming them into a more useful energy for all. Find that still, deep place inside of you, for there she dwells, for she is the dear child of the sea. Jules, what's going on? Nutslife, you know what? I need it for reference to remind myself where I don't want to be. And I do watch them sometimes. I was so skinny. My hair actually was normal. I was what, like 36, 37 when I started YouTube? 38 maybe. 37-ish. So, Jules, I don't know exactly what's going on, but I know from our video last week, thank you for buying a video chat and supporting me in that way and buying a box. I do appreciate that. I just want to make that known. It means so much to me and helps me out so much. I feel like you're allowing old patterns and old ways of being and living to kind of invade this new you. And it's not all you, it's attachment, right? The attachments you have are convincing you you're not good enough, you're other, you'll never do this, you'll never find that, you'll never be this. And Jules, the thing about it is you're so open that you're taking on everyone's everything, okay? You have to take the time to ground and shut yourself down. Now, without the box, which is coming, you got to get barefoot outside. Tonight's a full moon, perfect night to do it. And just take some breaths and just talk to your guides. You have human beings and spirits that are kind of leeching on your energy right now. And you have to shut that down or you will be drained. You will be kind of rendered useless for a little while in certain areas of your life if you don't really remember that you make the rules around yourself, right? You make your decisions and you know how far you've come, how hard you've worked. So to allow your own mind or these attachments, these negative energies to convince you of something else, it's kind of like on you to stop that. You're under an energetic attack right now where you're picking up everything negative from you can pass someone on the street, drive past someone on the road, walk past someone in the mall. And if they have a negative attachment, it's going to feed on you. You're just very, very open. Okay. And we are going to fix that. But for tonight and going forward in the next few weeks and in the months ahead, be wary about those negative voices, those negative thoughts, and where they're coming from. Be mindful of your energetic vibration. Oh, I was just in a great mood. Why am I feeling so nasty right now? Why do I feel, where is the worry and whatever anxiousness and fear possibly? Where is it coming from? There had to be something that triggered that. And understanding that pretty much every moment of every day when something switches and changes like that and you don't know what's going on, you can learn to be mindful of that. I really hope, okay, your friend Gemma, me, I hope that you take Spirit's message. Nomeo got it right on the nose. Ground yourself barefooted in the grass. It's full moon tonight. If you have sage, burn it out there and put it, surround yourself with it. If you don't, if you have incense, I sent you 40 Nag Champa incense and dragon's blood and it's not daisies, dragon blood and something. I wrote it down, sage to cleanse and clear. I sent you black and white salt with crystals in it that I made. I sent you so much stuff. Before tonight, get out barefoot. Do it naked if you can. I know on my property, I can go out naked and nobody will notice, especially at nighttime because I'm surrounded by the woods. But listen, it's not a joke. It's not some silly whim. It really is something you need to get out and do tonight. Say the Archangel Michael prayer of protection as well. You can Google it. No, you're not a self-fulfilling prophecy. You are in the way that you can manifest the best because you're an effing goddess. Bye, Jim. Melissa, I'm using Fairy Forest. No, Nomia, she really has. Because she's very open. So many people are activating right now. So we've been doing it slowly over the course of years, but like my mom, my aunt, my cousin, Jules, I have this other woman that I met through my interview with Wayne and Michelle. Her name is Sandy. Everybody like just activate, bam, bam, bam. And if you weren't born into this like I was, you don't know what the hell's going on. It took me till I was 15 to even understand, or 14, to even understand I was speaking to ghosts or spirits. I thought it was just something everyone did. No idea they were dead. I saw the craft and then I was like, oh, wait a minute. And I freaked out. You're welcome, sweetie. Okay. You got the sigil keeper. And I kind of do this because he comes up a lot. Ooh. Right before I started the stream, I put my phone over here on a flat surface. It's a flat shelf. I put it on top of my Bible, actually. And totally flat. It came flying at my head. My last pretzel. Bat Mom, you're next, son. All right, Melissa. When the sigil keeper comes to you, there will be no words. Instead, there will be shapes and signs and messages of flowing as though language of symbols is being shared with you. When she comes, you are being encouraged to participate in this process by creating and shaping your own magical symbols and beginning to consciously choose the symbolic language that you are creating and connecting with every single day. Melissa, you may wish to find a symbol at this time that represents you and the part of the journey you are exploring at present. You may wish to look around your home and see what hidden symbols have worked their way into your life. And you may wish to rearrange these, remove some, replace others with symbols. I'm sorry. It's the pretzels that are consciously chosen to be of greatest magical support to you at this time. Look at your clothing, what you wear, and see the symbolic nature of this, and go through your jewelry and consider carefully the energy of its symbols and whether you wish to connect with this. Sigil work is simple, but ever so powerful. And this is amazing. This amazing being is a reminder to work with intelligence and to exercise your choice at all times. You must choose carefully now what symbols you keep around you, for they have shaped you more than you have ever truly considered. Okay. Good night, Mark. Love you. Hope you feel better. So, Melissa, there are some things in your personal life. And yeah, I was like 13, 14 in 1999. I was born in 83. There are some things in your life, and I mean actual things, desks, chairs, lamps, clothing, something maybe thrifted, gotten from a garage sale secondhand. There are some attachments here. Melissa, what this card is saying is, hold on, give me a second. I feel like you're very open as well this week, especially with the full moon being tonight. You know, we'll have waning going through the next few days or week. I don't know how long it takes to wane and then reverse. But I feel like you are, first of all, there's something secondhand that if you really think about it, I think you're going to want to get rid of it. Do a spring cleaning in March, okay? Spring's almost here. Anything you don't need, don't use. Don't keep things just for sentimental value unless you like really, really feel you must. Now, I feel like you're seeing things like that are not right, but somebody's telling you that they are and you're wrong, and you're second guessing what you know. Now, this is completely normal in relationships like the one you're in or you were in. I don't know if he's back, or I know the back and forth, and there's never a judgment there, baby girl, because I've done it with many people many times. What I'm saying, though, is please, in the next few weeks, don't let anybody tell you what you know is not what you know. I feel like this is something big, something major that you've recently found out or that you're about to find out. And I don't think it's going to like validate something you already felt. I feel like this is going to be brand new information, and it's not going to be something that's easily digestible. Like maybe you don't want to accept it, or it's very hard for you to hear. Yeah, Jules, I got you. Like maybe it's something, it's like, oh my God, I can't deal with it. Like, I just see you saying like, I can't take it. That's it. Like, I don't want to know. Like, but you have to know. Then someone's going to come in and be like, no. Like, you see this picture of me and so, that's not me and so. Those are AI robots. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you're tired of the ridiculousness. You're looking for something straightforward. It could be someone cheating, but I think we already know that's what he does. Right? And then he convinces you it's not necessarily cheating because y'all were broken up at the time, or you were mad at him at the time, or the day ended in Y, or whatever the case is. I feel like, just like I told Baby Dragon, you are getting to the points where you're starting to make connections that were never there before, and you're starting to put 2 and 2 together, and it's finally equaling 4, and you're not allowing anyone to tell you it doesn't. What's up, Life with Bobby and Black Dragon? I really feel like there's a chance you could be slowly pulling out of this where there's no love anymore, right? Where you stay with this person out of love, hope that they're going to change, even if sometimes the love feels like hate, whatever the case is. It's like you're finally detaching from that energy. You're cutting that cord. And the reason you're doing that is because you're finally allowing yourself to gain knowledge. You're not blinding yourself to things that are right in front of your face anymore. Please no. If you do, you do. But I'm just letting you know he's got some foul stuff going on that I don't even think you've considered this. And considering the things that he's done and like who he is, for him to be doing something that you don't even know about, like you can't even fathom, that's a problem. And it's not good. I don't know what it is. I don't want you to get mixed up in it just as your friend, but of course your team doesn't want you to. I just feel like that love, that connection that keeps you hoping and wanting and believing in his future faking, it's dissipating, which is amazing for you. And it still could take a really long time for you to actually be like, I don't care and mean it, or to get somewhere where like you're not going to go back. But this is the start of something beautiful. Do you see the third eye on this guy's head? That's knowledge expansion. That is you accepting what you're seeing in your intuition and seeing beyond what is physically being put in front of you. So for example, when someone lies to me, I immediately know. I usually don't say anything because I'm just like, I can't prove that they're lying. Just I make a note of it and move on. You're doing that now. It's like you're seeing right through the BS, and there's no more like, oh, I hope, it's just gone. And that's going to be happening in the next couple of weeks. And there is going to be a catalyst that puts you there. I don't know. Like, it's something, I don't know. Does he get someone else pregnant? Is he involved in some kind of drug ring? Like, I don't know what is going on with him, but it is very like dark as far as when you find out. It's going to be like the straw that broke the camel's back for you. And I'm sorry you're going to have to go through whatever this is, but it needs to happen. It needs to be done. So Jules, let me read for Bat Mom because she was next, and then I'll read for Greg, okay?
Private chat.
Sorry, sometimes we have to coordinate. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes he doesn't see things in chat, or I don't see things in chat. Yeah, Melissa, we've all been there, right? Like, I remember this one person, like, the way I met him was weird. So into our relationship, I started saying things like, I kind of keep thinking about the way that I've met you and wondering if you're meeting other people that way. And immediately, not like, hey, I would never do that. Like, I love you. That was he always told me like that was a fluke. That has never happened to me before. I've never done that. And then, but now it's just, or at the time when I confronted him, it was just, you're crazy, you're psycho, you're sick, honey. This is what I would get. You're sick, honey, and you need help. You're a sick person. You're a sick human being. For asking a simple question like, hey, are you cheating on me? Because I feel like you are. I'm sick. I need mental help. You know what I mean? And I finally got to the point where I was just like, yeah, I know that I'm not the sick person in this relationship. All right, Bat Mom, I'm using dark and light, or dark light, it's called. I always wonder, though, who was the first person to milk a cow? To be like, I'm going to pull on that thing and drink what comes out. Ducks don't stay in a row. Word up. I mean, my ducks aren't in a row, but they're at least all in the same pond. You know what I'm saying? Nuts up, you're right there. Bat Mom, you got mystery. Card number 32. Things you cannot explain. Right. Right. Or when I would celebrate, like, I got 2 years clean, it would be like, wow, I would expect like I'm proud of you, or, because this person saw how hard I worked and what a struggle it was. And then I did this for us at the time. It would be like, wow, 2 years of not doing something most normal people don't do anyway. Yay. And I'm just like, but some people you just can't win with. All right, Bat Mom. Mystery, things you cannot explain. You cannot expect to understand everything, but right now you're in the middle of something very peculiar and mysterious. How do you feel about that? Have you created this mystery, or are you only undergoing it? You will not be able to move forward until you try and solve what this complex riddle is all about. Search, study, and investigate. Things that cannot be clearly explained and comprehended can easily become an agonizing obsession. All this chaos must be cleared up as soon as possible. Only then will you find clarity and your peace of mind. Keywords: things unexplained, esotericism, new comprehensions, mystery all around that needs to be solved. Affirmation: I will not leave this situation unexplained. I investigate to understand the whys and wherefores of the matter. I do my best to solve this mystery so I can move on. Yeah, I do feel like, something's being hidden from you. And again, like I said to Melissa, I don't really think you're that aware of it. I see you, Batmom, as like trying to, like how you're talking to Melissa right now, like trying to have those conversations with yourself too, right? And trying to really understand who you are as a human, as a woman, as a spiritual being. I just see you kind of expanding and not just saying, okay, I have spirit guides, cool, or okay, manifestation is great. Like actively seeking knowledge from your guides or information from your higher self, right? This is really good. It's like you're on an esoteric, mystical adventure. I feel like there is a lot of chaos surrounding you, but the universe is asking you, do you really need to be involved in this? Does it have anything really to do with you? And can you do anything about it for the better without draining all your energy? The answers to those things are probably no. And if you answered no to any of those questions, stay out of it. Nothing that you can do right now is going to make this situation better for someone else. And there's a reason for that. The reason being they are contracted and charted to experience this chaos. You are not. You have the free will to decide whether or not to get involved for nothing because you're not going to make a difference in the long run. You can't because it's fated. What's not fated is your part in it. And the universe is saying, no matter how badly you want to call someone out, punch someone in the face, no matter how badly you're grinding your teeth down and biting your tongue, don't get involved. It's just going to be a waste of energy. This person, these people, and I see two people and one kind of on the outside that doesn't belong either, but that's putting their 2 cents in. Let them figure it out. As far as you, yes, focusing on your work, going bigger, getting better. Hold on, Cowie. And just like accepting that you can only do what you can do. I do. I actually do. I see a married couple like fighting over something. And then this other person that's not you, because like you're over here, I see them kind of like getting involved and like meddling. And again, it's for no reason because these two are fated to deal with this. You can't change fate. There are certain things that happen in life that are going to happen no matter what, like meeting your soulmate, meeting your twin flame. It just has to happen. It's going to happen one way or another. But then there's free will. And that's where you play a role here. The universe is saying, take all that energy that you want to exert towards like tearing this person up. I see you just really not liking the one person and put it towards bettering yourself. Esoteric knowledge, like really learning about your chart, who you are as a person, where you're supposed to be, where you want to go, and how to get there. This is all very centered, very you focused. And I do see you there. I believe it's your daughter and her husband and some outside force. Could be your ex-husband, it could literally be anybody, but they're meddling and they're making it worse. But at the end, they're going to be the bad guy or the bad person because nobody should be getting involved in this, even though it's normal for you to want to. It's your daughter. You said it. I didn't bring it up, but you know what I'm saying? Take all that energy and focus it on you, or you can waste it trying to get involved here, but it's not going to work. So Callie, as far as what I understand, the moonlight cleanses us. It gets rid of negative energy. It, like the sun reinvigorates, rejuvenates us, gives us energy and gives us light. The moon kind of clears all the negative off and puts us in a state of relaxation, connects us more to our guides and our mystical side, right? But the main thing the moonlight does is it cleanses. It clears off negativity. It's calming. It's peaceful. That mom, exactly. Yeah, no problem, honey. I don't like to give like those very specific details unless I'm asked. Cowie, I'm sure we'll be reading for you soon. I know I'm going to do Greg next as a favor to Jules. Since you're still here, I doubt that you mind. If you need me to do you next, just let me know, and then we'll do Greg because he was kind of an add-in. But I know usually you guys are fine with whatever. Cowie's coming up, right?
Actually, if you want to go ahead and do Greg, Carrie, and then we can start our list of who's ever here.
Okay, Andrew doesn't want a reading. Oh, I understand. Yeah. All right, I'll do Greg first, then Cowie.
That's fine. And then what I'll do is I'll call.
I'm sorry, what?
No, I'm sorry. I was just saying, then what I'll do is we'll call a couple names and see who answers.
I got you. So, Nutslap, the reason for that, though, is because people that aren't aligned in their spirituality and connected with their light, where do you think the negative energy cleansing off the light workers goes? It snatches right onto them, and they're like, "Oh, what is this? It's insanity. It's attachment. It's lower vibrational. It's glorious." So, Greg, I hope you're listening. I'm using the Shaman's Dream Oracle, and then Cowie, you'll be next, and we're going to do our list. Greg, you got deep quiet, meditation, and stillness, card number 11. Meditation, stillness, and clarity. When deep quiet appears, it's a message from the cosmos calling you to stillness, to step outside the concerns of your everyday life. This doesn't mean to slow down and take a breath, although that's a good start. The cosmos is inviting you to go deep, to that place where the noise stops and there is only the vast emptiness of inner space. When we don't respond to the invitation offered by deep quiet, life can stop us in our tracks with an illness or a crisis. Listen to the small, still voice. Remember that you want to catch spirit on a whisper, not a shout. And it is only human to argue that you are too busy to slow down, that you don't have time, the inclination, or the money to retreat. Don't let any of these reasons get the better of you. Stop the world and enter the deep quiet before you come to a crashing halt. After you have said yes to this invitation, you will find that the world can get along quite well without the need for you to manage it. You will enjoy the freedom that comes with stillness, the clarity and spaciousness offered by the silence. So there's a few things here, Greg. The one thing I want to say is, just like I told Bat Mom, like, you need to take a step back from a situation and stop giving it so much energy. I feel like if you really think about it, it's kind of not your problem. It's not your fight. All right. And this could be something coming in. No problem, Bat Mom. So, Greg, I feel like if you don't stop something, so like getting involved in other people's stuff, or, using a substance or drinking or eating too much. I'm not saying you're an addict. I know people get offended by that. I'm just using examples. There's some compulsion here. You're going to end up getting sick. And I'm literally seeing like a hospital where you're like just overdoing it. And the fact of the matter is, the universe is like, you don't have to be involved in whatever this is in the first place. If you don't take time for your wellness, you will have to take time for your illness. And here's the thing. You may have all these excuses. Maybe you don't have money to go on vacation or a staycation even. Maybe you feel like you don't have the time, to work out or reconnect with Earth or make new friends, or whatever the case may be. There are things in your life that you're neglecting because you feel like you don't have time. You'll eventually get to it. You're like putting it off and putting it off. But you're going so fast, either physically actually doing things or just like thinking about like, okay, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do it. And you're like giving yourself so much stress. You are going to end up in the hospital. Greg, I feel like there are either too many people that depend on you or too many people that you care about, that you want to give, that you're giving so much to, right? Again, even if you're not physically doing it, like constantly worrying about someone will make you physically sick, particularly when there's nothing you can do to try and help. I am seeing a sickness here, but I don't know if it's something going on with you or something that is coming in. And I don't think it's anything serious, but I feel like it's something avoidable. right? So what I would say to you is in the next 2 weeks, don't do anything that, is like dangerous. Don't do anything that you can get hurt doing it. And that's physically or emotionally, right? Don't allow yourself to be so open-hearted and kind that you end up being manipulated, because I do feel like there are people that manipulate you and you're just like, well, that's just so-and-so. Like, no, they're using your energy and abusing it, and they're not reciprocating and giving it back, which means it's being wasted. You're running around wasting energy, just giving to people. Greg, I see a lot here, but I just, the main thing I want to impress upon you is that if you're doing something that's bad for your health, that's toxic, please, like, do your very best not to do those things, not to get involved, not to overstress, not to overexert yourself, not to use this, that, or eat this, or there's something very unhealthy here that is going to cause your body to break down. Or it's going to be a mental thing. I just see hospital. I'm sorry if this is a little vague. Sometimes I can't read certain people as well as others. It's very rare that it happens, but I don't, especially when it's a new person, like, to get to know your energy, you really need to take a step back, particularly in one situation, and understand that this person is not giving back. They're not worrying about you. They're not going to be there in the middle of the night if you call. Why are you giving so much to this? And I also feel like there's someone around you who would deserve this kind of treatment, whether you realize that that's who they are or not. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're giving to the people who don't deserve it, but the people who do are, like, being neglected in that way. And they're feeling taken for granted and taken advantage of, because they want that from you, but you're too busy giving it over here. I don't know if this makes sense. I hope that it does. And I'm, sorry. Cowie, I am going to be using the Halloween Oracle. I think that should resonate with you. And if it doesn't, in the next couple of weeks, Greg, again, just be very careful. I just see you having some sort of accident or something. Maybe it's already happened and that's why I keep seeing it. Like, are you in the hospital? Are you physically injured? Something's not right there.
While you're on that pause, Andrew, do you want a card? Please let us know.
Yeah, I've got 5 timestamps tonight. So Nutslap, when I first met Ray, when we first moved into this house, we stayed in a hotel up the street for like 2 months while we waited for the house to close. And I would go to work with him every day. And at that time, he wasn't only doing the mechanic stuff at his shops, he was delivering like fancy stonework. So like all these high class upper echelon houses that were like made at this factory. So he drove the truck. He'd have to strap the stuff on the truck, drive it to New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. We'd go into the city all the time, all around New Jersey, and he would deliver them. And I've never seen so many crazy people in a matter of like, in 2 years, we probably had like 300 strange events with just like insane people. We just have so much fun. The one time he accidentally backed the truck up into a fire hydrant and like kind of hit it. And something was going on at the house down the street with like the FBI. Like there were feds circling a house and we were like, we should just go and like not report this because like there's something strange going on. Are they going to draw guns? Like we were worried. And we thought it was hilarious because it was raining, whatever. So the next day we had to go back to the same area and deliver to like 3 houses down from the house where he had hit the hydrant. So we're listening to these phone pranks that they pull on the radio. And this one lady, all she kept saying was, my cat's going, about a plane. They called her and told her, like, even though she booked 6 months in advance, her pet can't come on the plane. It was hilarious. And we had it at full blast. After about 15 minutes of listening to this, I look back, we've been getting pulled over this whole time and just didn't hear the guy. He was so mad. He pulled us over. He's like, you don't effing hear me. I got my sirens on. I'm yelling out to you through the, whatever it's called, the speaker. He's like, pull over. He's like, you hit a fire hydrant yesterday. Oh my God. Honestly, Jules, I was seeing both because I was seeing like a compulsion or like an addiction, but then I was also seeing like a hospital stay for something separate, but because I didn't know like what it was, I was like, it could be linked, like it could be the same thing. There's a real danger here of a hospitalization or a physical injury. And I don't usually get those in the one card reading. So, I mean, I'm just saying, not tooting my own horn, but I would really be careful. All right, Cowie, it is finally your turn, baby. Oh, Jules, I'm so glad because I felt like I didn't give any information there. It was very confusing energy. He has some attachments that are blocking me. And usually I can get through them, which is why I'm thinking, is there drugs or alcohol? Again, no judgment. You know my history. I have a heart for addicts. Or people who, you know, maybe have to take pain medication. Like people judge them so harshly. I'm not saying he does. I'm just saying there is something there. And these attachments are trying to block me and they're very, very strong. Cowie, you got the black cat. Fortune meets opportunity. This is actually a very lucky card. Cowie, sleek and black and lantern-eyed, crosses your path with a hiss. Good luck and fortune sweep by with a kiss. In traditional folklore, cats were said to have 1 foot in this world and 1 foot in the next. They were the conduit between the underworld and this world and fortune and opportunity. In the times of the Inquisition, the Middle Ages, cats were hunted because they were said to be allies of evil entities such as devils and witches. Black cats, black being associated with the darker aspects of the supernatural, were especially singled out. Historians believed the unprecedented killing of cats in the name of eradicating evil led to an unchecked increase in the rat population, which was responsible for the alarmingly rapid spread of the bubonic plague and the death of millions of people. These days in Germany, for example, a black cat passing one's path indicates impending misfortune. Yet, in ancient Britain, they were considered good luck and were even given to brides on their wedding day. In Japan, to this day, they are considered very good luck and bringers of fortune. Cowie, should the slinky black cat cross your path through this oracle, know that good luck and fortune will be meeting you promptly. Also know that your luck will be even, quote unquote, luckier if you are prepared to take advantage of every special opportunity that comes your way. So yeah, there's definitely some fortune coming in here. All right. I should have just left my bangs alone. They're driving me nuts now. I feel like in the next couple of weeks, Cowie, Andrew, let us know if you want a card, baby. Oh, I see it. I'll take one, sir. Got you. Cowie, I feel like in the next couple of weeks. Oh, Cowie, thank you so much. I love it. I love birthday gifts. It's my birthday month anyway. So in the next couple of weeks, you're going to have an opportunity that's going to be, I think, something very out of the ordinary. So this could be like a lottery win if you play the lottery, some kind of found money. But in general, I just see you really kind of wanting to deny that it's one of those things where it's like, is this really happening? But like in a good way. Don't let your fear or your ego stop you. Ego meaning fear, edging God out, whether you believe in God or not, EGO. Like, for example, I always say, I think I'm more scared of success than I am of failure, right? As soon as I start feeling really good and confident about myself, I tear myself back down and tell myself I'm a failure, right? Like, don't do that to yourself. I feel like whatever this opportunity is, it may not be like a huge thing in the grand scheme of things, but I feel like to you, this is something important, maybe that you worked hard for or you wanted or wished for your whole life. Don't let those negative thoughts and voices in your head stop you from accepting this, right? Don't worry about whether or not you're going to fail. Imagine that you will succeed. I feel like if you get an opportunity, any small thing that's really, really important to you, you should just jump on it without giving it another thought. There's nothing here that's like, oh, if it seems too good to be true, like, no, this is the too good to be true, only it's not because it's actually happening to you. Please pay very, very close attention to new people you meet and to your emails, text messages, some kind of like social media. electronic correspondence and communication is going to be bringing in very good news for you in the next couple of weeks, if you're willing and open to receive. Very, very good. I like that. Open to receive. Who's next?
Okay, Andrew's next. Then Chris, Jarvis, if you're here or you can hear me, do you
I just saw Jarvis. Let us know if you're here, hon.
Smoochie. I don't know if that Iva is still here or not.
I think she left. Ava, let us know if you're here.
Nick Y. Nick. I don't know if he's still here, if he wants one. There's Pine Island. Hello, sir.
Hey,
Life with
Pine
Bobby.
Island.
How you doing, sir? And Life with Bobby. If you guys want a card, let us know.
Life with Bobby, Ava or Avi, Nick. You know, if your name was just called, let us know you're here, because we're probably not going to call you again. Cowie, thank you. Thanks for hanging out and for being patient. Pine Island, good to see you. Good to see you. Sir Jeff in the house. Okay, Nomeo, this actually popped out. I love the pop-outs. You got card number 1. I've never pulled the first card in the Aether Creatures deck before. This is the Erdukanda. In the upright. Let's find out. Nope. If the Erdukanda has made itself known to you right side up, it's a message from the greater universe that you do have what it takes. Be smart, but don't be overly cautious. You have the strength and stamina you need to achieve what you want. You simply have to move forward. That's a short one. Thanks, Cowie. And Cowie, I think you should pay attention to that one as well. Life with Bobby, I see you. This is the same thing. It's like you're not seeing opportunities as they present themselves, because one, you're so focused on like the stress of just like life, right? Even if you're enjoying life, it's like your focus is elsewhere. But there are several opportunities I see that you've kind of passed up because you didn't recognize them for what they were. In the next couple of weeks, pay really close attention, again, like I said to Cowie, to people that you meet, to really listen to what people are saying, because I feel like there's an opportunity here to like make extra money, to maybe go on an adventure, right? This is the time for you, Andrew, my Nomeo, to throw caution to the wind and live life as though it's eternal, right? Wow, that was deep. Your guide said that. Live life as if it's eternal in the next couple of weeks. Obviously, this doesn't mean be reckless or like go on a mission to do dangerous things, but it does mean like throw caution to the wind. You don't always have to be so like on point. And I know you're not like always like a serious person. You're like us, you know, you fit right in the Island of Misfit Toys. You're a jokester. You can take a joke. You're funny. You're fun. But when it comes to your work, you're like laser focused, which is a really, really good thing, right? But try to focus on other things in the next couple of weeks, even while you're working, while you're traveling. Maybe speak to more people or stop more if you can. Or there's just something here that the universe, your team, like they really don't want you to pass up. But if you don't pay close attention, you'll like, I'm just seeing like you drive right by it. So I don't know what that means. If it means you're literally like physically going to drive past something or someone, or if it's just like it's going to blow by you. You ran some good woman off. Well, stop that. All right, who's next? Oh, I got to open that one, Smooch. Give me a sec. I did keep it on top just in case. Who's next?
We're going to do the people that answered so far, Smoochie and Life with Brian. Then you can probably do your timestamps.
I don't know anyone named Life with Brian.
I mean, Life with Bobby. That movie stuck in my head. I watched it the other day.
Kidding.
I know.
It's funny you said that, because I was doing a reading, a personal for someone, one of my patrons, and their brother popped in, and the brother's name is Brian.
Interesting.
And he was actually here with me tonight, and we've been talking. He's kind of hanging out with me for a few days. So it's funny Brian popped into your head.
Yeah, well, I watched Life with Brian the other day. It's hilarious.
Is it a movie?
Yeah, there's a movie. Monty Python.
I remember when I was in 9th grade, my TV cable class, and this was before the digital age. We did everything with like the big cameras with the VHS tapes inside. Right. We had to recreate Monty Python's Holy Grail in our own way.
Oh, jeez.
I did not do it. I offered to do the editing for everyone else, where you'd have to like go into school at 5 p.m. and do the editing until 8 p.m., like 5 nights a week for like a month. But I was like, I would rather do that.
Yeah, the Holy Grail movie is hilarious.
We had our own public access news station that I hosted. It was so much fun.
We had that at our school too. The Grail.
One of my favorite parts of that movie is actually like how they did the horses. They didn't have a budget. They said we had no budget for horses, and we thought it'd be funny to just make the noise. No, Mio, I totally get that. And there are people that have come back into my life and have been like, and I'm like, yeah, I know. Now I see it. Okay. Now I see it, you know. Manifest your miracle, Smoochie, in the shadow reverse position. I don't remember that. I don't remember the whole thing. I watched it like, you know how like you have something playing in the background while you're doing something else? That's what I know about Monty Python. Smoochie, manifest your miracle. Miracles aren't a thing. Pishaw. Have you ever put something into the universe like a thought or a creative idea, then suddenly you're seeing this thought elsewhere or this creative project on someone else's feed? Or perhaps you have bumped into the person you haven't seen in forever but were just thinking about. Silently in your mind, you set an intention and it traveled through the universe, boomeranging right back to you. This is to let you know the universe is listening, and anything in capital letters, yes, is possible. After I do the readings, I have it right here. Take your hint, go and manifest the heck out of your miracle. So Nomeo, you are Smoochie. Give me a second. You're a wrench. You can put your email in, do that, because this is going to be 64 pages of info. I'm going to read a little tiny bit, but I want you to have it. So Smoochie, I feel like a lot of the issue is reverse doesn't always mean bad. This is a good reading. Doesn't always mean that. That's tarot where it's normally bad. Oracle, it could literally be anything. And normally the shadow side is better. It's like the better one for yourself. So anyway, this is the universe saying, and I don't mean this, Blue Crossroads. I don't mean this in like an attack on you. Okay. I want you to know it's not me saying this to you. I feel like it's like your skepticism is what's causing a lot of the things in your life not to change. It's not that you're not working hard. It's not that you're not trying your best. It's not that you're not doing everything you can, but I feel like a part of you has detached and a part of you is into this like escapism type, it'll happen on its own type thing. I can't even deal with it right now. I'm done type energy. And the universe is saying, if you would just put some spiritual thought and action into what it is you're trying to accomplish and achieve in your life and stop rolling back into escapism, you would see major changes much faster. I also feel like you're giving your energy to an energy vampire who has no problem. I always say, if you're a giver, which Smoochie, I know you're a tough B word, but you are a giver and you are a light worker and you do have a huge heart. If you're a giver, you have to know your limits of giving because takers do not have limits on taking. This person is manipulating you using sickness to be like, well, I'm sick. So, and you're like, okay. And then you go and do whatever it is you do to escape. It's like, you're not spiritually aligned. I feel like you've kind of spiritually fallen off. And I'm not talking about religion because I know your beliefs there and I would never push religion on you. I'm just saying your spirituality, your connection to who you are deep down inside. You're going through a really dark night of the soul, trying to survive, right? And the universe wants you to start living. Live in the life you have instead of trying to survive. What can you change now? What do you need to change for later? Like, what do you have no control over right now? And then relinquish control of it. Just because you have no control over some things doesn't mean you should escape from the things you can work on. And I feel like you've just been through so much and you've tried so hard and feel like you've failed that you're not willing to really do anything. The thing is, you haven't worked so hard and put so much effort into you. You've given it all to others. Give to you for once. Others aren't appreciating you. They're manipulating you. They've got you feeling trapped, lonely, abandoned, unsure, confused, whatever of those feelings you're feeling and more. So pour into yourself, and not with escapism, not with natty ice. And I'm not judging you. I'm just going to say you can do whatever you want in your free time, but all the effort and energy you're putting into these toxic people, these people that take advantage, manipulate, don't care, put it into you. Tell them F off. And I'm sorry, but like literally F off. I'm done. But then don't just run off and escape. Go and do something for Smoochie. You deserve better, not only than what you're being given and how you're being treated, but what you're giving and how you're treating yourself. I want you to know that, woman to woman. I get it. But you are a bad bitch. How could you forget? Remember who you are, Smoochie. Who's next?
Life with Bobby, then Black Dragon, then we'll start your time.
All right. Life with Bobby, I'm using my new Dark Goddesses deck. Not to be confused with the Dark Goddess deck. Good. I hope you are. You deserve it. You deserve it more than anyone else in your life right now. Whoa. I just got like taken out of my body for a second, like into a vision. Somebody crossed in. Okay, so Life with Bobby, you got Pele. Happen. Ignite your inner fire. Have you been holding yourself back out of fear of judgment, resentment, or rejection? Guys, do you see a running theme here? Release the limiting beliefs that you are too much or that you're not enough. Now is the moment to erupt out of your comfort zone and unapologetically embrace your true self. Choose passion over fear. Let that fierce fire inside of you light your path in this world. Life with Bobby. Yeah, this is you just, yes, absolutely right. The Hawaiian goddess. This is you, like, you're not, this is like the same thing. It's so crazy. Like, you're not seeing your potential in the situation you're in. It's just kind of like, okay, here I am. Like we were saying in the beginning, you weren't here, but we're like, it's just like a Groundhog Day of like waking up, doing this, going through the motions. And the universe is saying, why would you do that to yourself? Right. And this is without judgment or indictment, because we all do it. I'm currently doing it. Right. I'm trying not to, because I'm more aware, but I am. Everybody does it. The universe is telling you, though, you're not giving yourself enough room to breathe. You're not giving yourself enough space, and you are certainly not giving yourself enough credit for everything you've been through, gotten through, and accomplished. I do feel like you have a situation where no matter what you do, it's like this person or these people that you're looking to for approval, or like hoping that they're going to validate you, or it's like it's not enough. And it's never going to be, because whoever this is, whether it's many people or just one, they're going to keep moving the goalposts. I said this to someone earlier as well. You can't please this person. So why not pour that energy into you? And I hate to be so repetitive, but it is what it is. We're all dealing with the same things. We're all very connected. This is the universe saying, you know, you don't always have to be giving to others. Sometimes you have to give to yourself. And then you look and see who's still willing to give to you, meaning energetically. If you stop calling everybody, who's still willing to call you? You are being called Life with Bobby, to make some changes in your life and changes in the people around you. Okay? Like, who really belongs there? People, places, and things that no longer serve you. And it's not like the snap of a finger. That sounds so good when you say it. Get rid of people, places, and things that no longer serve you. Step into your power. It's a process of being able to say, you know what? This person doesn't appreciate what I do. I'm not doing anymore. This person always wants more. I'm not giving anymore. And what do you do with that excess energy? Girl, you do something for you. What are your dreams? What are your goals? If money wasn't an object and you could do or be anything in this world, where do you see yourself in a month, 6 months, a year, having to work for something? What would it be? Then figure out why you're not doing it. And if it's something that's literally impossible, like, you want to be a TikTok dancer, like, okay, what's the next thing, right? Do what you can to make yourself happy. Life with Bobby. Do you notice a pattern too? Not only in the readings, but with what people are responding. Slowly working on not worrying about what others think of me, if that makes sense. That makes so much sense. I have procrastinated for so long in the past 2 weeks simply because I couldn't bring myself to tell someone, I'm sorry, I'm not going to make it to your event. I'm going to spend time with my mom. I still haven't told them this is happening on Saturday because God forbid this person I barely know thinks poorly of me. So now I got to call my best friend and tell her what's going on and like have her do it. I get it. Yeah, I still haven't told her, Steven. Like, oh, just Ray and RJ are going. I've decided to go do this other thing.
Want me to do it for you?
Well, mainly because I didn't think I was going to be doing it. Remember? Because I thought we were staying the night. But I could have done it yesterday and got it out of the way. Instead, I'm like, oh God, someone's going to be angry with me. Somebody's going to be mad with me. How stupid is that?
And there's your theme for tonight.
She's going to think I don't like her.
Nah.
I do like her very much. It's just this time and the last 2 times, my son got sick. Something else came. I can't help it, but I'm just in some situations, I'm very meek and mild, and I'm working on that too. Can't be a world traveler. Okay. Where can you travel to? Hotel down the street for a staycation, or what's number 2 on your list, right?
I travel down to the end of the street.
Yeah, there's always something that you might want to accomplish or that you dream of. Wow, 97 Latro, where are you? In Texas? Who's next?
Yeah, it's real toasty. Latro, did you want a card before we do Black Dragon? Let us know, Latro.
I always wanted to work for the FBI.
Huh?
I always wanted to work for the FBI. I can't do that. I always wanted to be a model or an actress. I can't do that. I'm on like 3rd. I want to be somewhat famous and recognized when I go out. Okay. I'm working on it.
Go ahead and do Black Dragon.
Right? But that's dream number 3 for me as far as my life where I want it to go, because I can't accomplish the first 2. I'm 42 years old. I missed my shot. I chose to love abusive men and have kids with them instead of following my dreams, right? But that was my lesson in this lifetime. My lesson is definitely love. Searching for love where it isn't and loving myself enough to see where it isn't and set boundaries. So I'm with you guys and you ladies. Like, I get it. All right, Black Dragon. I am going to use Moonology Manifestations. This deck has been sitting here lonely all night waiting to be used. It got very warm here too, but I don't think it got to 75. I think we probably maybe hit 70 for a little bit. Latro, I hope so. I really do.
I think we hit 80 today here.
We
broke records.
I'm kind of tired of being criticized and put down and called names and ignored and rejected, and because I'm trying so hard, right? Like, I do everything for my family. Like, there's nothing I wouldn't do. Okay, this card's a pop-out, Black Dragon. Last quarter moon in Libra. Make time for self-love. It's just, I'm telling you, I have people that criticize me that are like, towards the end of the show, it's always the same thing. Well, yeah, everything's culminating into the lesson of the
it works up to a theme, yeah.
It does. It all culminates to the last like 10 readings. I can't help it. I think it does that to show like we're all in the same boat. It's just like who's swimming, who's paddling, and who's waiting for it to sink. I'm no longer staying with sinking ships. Black Dragon. Last quarter, Moon in Libra, make time for self-love. Have you been trying to please all of the people all of the time when you're not yet quite happy yourself? There's a difference between wanting to live positively and spiritual bypassing when you refuse to acknowledge your feelings. You can't fool the universe, so pretending to be happy when you're sad will get you nowhere. Rather, you need to deal with your feelings. That's the only way. If you're people-pleasing, stop. Think about what's going on and why you're doing it. If you're in an unbalanced relationship, address the situation. While it's lovely to do things nicely, they also need to be done well, so make sure you're being sincere. The way to get in the manifesting zone is to work through all your stuff. Once you've done that, you become a clear signal for your desires. Your manifestation affirmation, harmony surrounds me. I am on my path. Black Dragon, I feel like this is kind of just, what is the word I'm looking for? Like reassuring everything you're already aware of and doing. This is the universe saying like you're on the right track, you're on the right path. Don't be pulled out of this mode of self-love and self-discovery for anyone or anything. I do feel like there's lower vibrational people or a person, a situation that isn't so good that could really pull you out of this mindset and make you feel discombobulated, disorientated, where it's like, now you're questioning everything. Now, you know, when you weren't doing that before, you were fine. So I feel like if you just stick to the path that you're on in the next few weeks and don't get distracted by other people's dramas and messes, because you're like us, you're a helper. Whether you're an actual people pleaser or not, I don't know, but I do know you're a helper. You want to help. You want to see people happy. You don't want chaos and drama around you. So don't get involved in it. Even if you feel like you're doing a good thing, don't get involved in it, please. I know that's a weird face, but my mouth hurts. That's going to be a meme. I can't believe I just did that publicly. Who's next? My mouth was hurting.
And I was kidding, Blue. That sucks. Motor oil on the floor is such a pain in the butt, too.
Oh, my gosh. Don't you need, like, cat litter to get rid of that?
Yeah, it's a pain in the butt. Okay, want to do the first? We're doing...
Timestamp. Yep.
Timestamp, so...
And now I'm going to use angels and ancestors. So, guys, we are done for the night except timestamps. Feel free to hang out. Thank you guys so much for coming in, for donating if you could, just for being you and just... Yeah, Black Dragon, though, I feel like somebody is trying to, like, pick that glue apart. Like, somebody is definitely trying to get under your skin, or they just are getting under your skin by, like, being around. And it's like, just get them out. I don't think you're going to have a problem. You're in a very high spiritual frame right now. So you're going to be fine. And you got the direction guardian. Choose your path. Here we go. It's like one after the other. Connect with your deepest desires, then choose the path that will make your heart and soul sing. The Direction Guardian card represents the angels of direction. These amazing angels are the ones who come to us when we are at a crossroads and don't know which way to go. When we are unsure of what is right for us or of the bigger picture, they can help us know what's best for all involved. The Direction Guardian card refers to the vision of the Hebrew prophet Ezekiel, who is said to have seen an angel with 4 different faces. One was a child or cherub, one was a bull, one was a lion, and one was an eagle. These 4 faces show that angels can appear in many different guises and guide us in many different forms and directions, but always for your highest good. Extended message: your path isn't set in stone, Aunt Edna, and your angels and guides have no expectations for you, nor should you have any for yourself. There are many directions you can take. None of them are wrong, as they all hold perfect opportunities to grow and to learn. But life is to be enjoyed and savored. So if you know that there's a decision to be made, and particularly if you're feeling indecisive, choose the path you know is going to make you light up, and choose it with your heart. And I do feel like finally a lot of the drama has not really escaped you, but you've overcome it and you've chosen to focus on higher vibrational things, like your grandson getting that college scholarship. I'm so excited, right? I worked really hard on that. I'm not taking credit. I'm just saying I put a lot into that for you, especially that first and second night from when you announced it. The universe is saying, now that you're seeing this possibility, like for your grandson, this is opening something up in you where you're like, you know what? It's not too late for me to do XYZ. Just like I've been talking to everyone about tonight. Here we go. Myself included. What is happening? You did good. You did good. Where it's like there are decisions to be made, and there are ones that we can make that will please us and the people around us, and then there are some that we can make that are going to anger, piss off, confuse. It's like, it's not that you want to purposely go out of your way to hurt or confuse or anger anyone, but if that's how they feel at the end of the day, when you're off making yourself happy, then that's how it's going to have to be. And that you are ready for this. You are ready to embark on whatever this is that you want to do, that you've been wanting for a while, and throw caution to the wind. Take this leap of faith and don't let anyone's thoughts, feelings, words, don't let anyone stop you. Not for anything. Who's next?
You just want me to go in the order I had them written down? Okay, Casey. Sorry about that.
It's okay. You did good. Casey, I'm using the Dark Goddesses deck. I really like this deck, if you can't tell. I'm like a bird, I only fly away. I don't know where my soul is. I don't know where my home is. I never pulled this one either. I'm not familiar with this goddess, Ein Jana, the card of nurture. Casey, relationships require nurturing to thrive. Remember to share your gratitude for the blessings of the wonderful people in your life, too. Find ways to show how much you appreciate and care for them. A warm hug, a small gift, or a kind word can go a long way in strengthening your relationships. Rain caring attention upon your loved ones and watch them bloom and flourish. So I don't really think this is about you giving more. I feel like this is about you finally, in the next couple of weeks, Casey, being ready to maybe explain a little more to the people closest to you. I know you've blocked yourself from that to protect them because you don't want to talk about your feelings and upset anyone, particularly your daughters. Here's the thing, though. The time has come for you to explain at least a little bit of what you're really going through, what you're thinking, what your plans are, how you feel from moment to moment sometimes to them, so that they can understand and there's not conflict. I do feel conflict building between you and your daughters or other people or another person that you care about very, very much. The reason I'm saying daughters is because I'm seeing a silver string, a soul connection, but it could be someone else that you're very, very close to that is getting frustrated with you because they don't understand. They understand you're grieving, you're mourning. They understand you need time and space, but they don't understand like the emotion of it, the energy of it. And Casey, I really feel like in the next 2 weeks would be the perfect time to sit them down over some coffee or tea, or, I think I sent you a Stanley, fill it up with some tea and bring it to a picnic. Like, do something kind for them. I know you always do. That's why this card is like, don't go above and beyond. Just be normally you and really talk to them as much as you're comfortable with, but a little bit more than you have. Even if you share one thing that you might be feeling that maybe they might understand better than you think. The next 2 weeks is not a time to keep things to yourself, but it's also not a time to like go again above and beyond. You want to just be yourself and just offer what you can as far as emotional explanation. You don't have to say or do anything you don't want to, of course, and you don't have to do any of this, but I feel like the next 2 weeks is going to be really good energy for understanding, patience, and grace, mercy aimed at you instead of frustration, exasperation, confusion, etc. Who's next?
Lotus.
Lotus girl, we're using dark light. Andrew says, that's why I said what I said at the beginning of the show. If it was okay, the message was driving me nuts, and so I posted it in chat. No, I want you guys to do that. I want you to post anything that comes to mind. When I'm giving the readings, if you get an additional message, guys, listen, always put it in the chat. This is all connected. We're all working together. I'm sending my energy out to y'all. Y'all are sending it back to me. It's all going into the chat. A lot of people used to do that. People don't do it as much anymore. If you're getting a message, whatever's coming through, put it in the chat and we'll talk through it if necessary. Lotus Girl, you got ghosts. Card number 21, from another world. Considering it was your brother who's deceased that showed up in the personal reading, I'm pretty interested to see what this has to say. Ghosts from another world. Card number 21. Lotus, if you see me appear, that means that you have a strong connection with subtle presences that some people can't perceive. Be attentive to signs. Develop your intuition. Hear the message that is sent from above. You don't have to be frightened. Even though I look spectral, I am kind and caring. I come to remind you that you are not alone. All of your steps are being guided. Something stronger than you is at work here, which you don't need to understand rationally. You may feel it in your chest. So if you're searching for answers, just listen to the secrets the skies are whispering in your ears at this very moment. You're being visited. Blue Crossroads Lotus is also my angel. She's a doll. That is my sister. I don't know how we didn't end up actual sisters in this lifetime, but we've been through lifetimes. I just adore her and I can't wait to meet her in person. Lotus, your affirmation: I listen to what my personal ghosts have to say. I welcome them, hear their message, and then I can wave them goodbye. I feel like you're more closed off than normal because of everything happening around you, because of your physical illness, because of what's going on with Porky Pie, because of what's going on with the business and the drivers. It's all just closed you down. It's shut you down. And the fact of the matter is, you're no longer listening to your instinct and your intuition. You might think you are, but you're logically and rationally thinking that you're following your intuition. In the next couple of weeks, Tennille, I want you to really try to open up and start listening again to what your spirits and your guides are telling you. Your brother appeared in a personal reading. Yeah, I'm still live, Nutslap. And I feel like he's also trying to get a message to you. All right. And normally you would get it like this, but you're so closed down, and the message he's trying to download to you is something that can really help you. And I feel like it can help you physically. So Tennille, please take 5 minutes a day to listen, to go outside, to just hear the nothingness in the air and receive these messages, not only from your brother, but from all of your team. They really are pouring into you and reaching out to you, and you're very, very closed off, which isn't how you normally are. So let's fix that. Who's next?
Darling Deb. You're almost done.
I love doing it. It's just energetically, it drains me. I'm so open that everything from like the woods and the neighborhood comes in. We have a police officer who unalived themselves down the street. And it's when they come in, I'm taken to the moment of their death and go through it. And I don't want to do that, obviously. But that's what just happened before. I kind of snapped into what he was doing and what he was thinking. And it was a lot. Divine timing. Actually, yes, I'm doing the timestamps now. But if you come in a little earlier next week, we'll get you all taken care of. You know, I'm really sorry. I just we're almost done. I've got 2 more. No, Nutslap, you don't know what it feels like to have to feel that and go through like feeling every emotion and the physical pain of it. It's not good. And Divine, I'm so sorry. Thank you for coming in though. And it takes a lot from my energy. So when it happens a lot, there's like blood transfusion. Like, it's just not good. All right. Darling Deb, you got the High Priestess of Water. Card number 4 could be dealing with a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, even though this card to me is big Pisces and or Cancer energy. Dear one, when my vampire high priestess of water visits you, it's time to remind you that all things change, like the powerful element she represents. Yeah, Nutslap, it's not technically real, but when you're feeling it and seeing, like, I'm in it. So it is real to me, even though I'm cognizantly aware that that's what's happening, right? Which is why I walk around closed most of the time. Deb, water is a transforming element that flows in rivers, makes waves in the vast ocean, turns to hard cold ice, and disperses as hot steam. Water can change into snowflakes, white fluffy clouds, and rain. When you draw the symbol of water, it signifies a time when things in your life are changing shape right before your very eyes. Yeah, I can't. Go with the flow, as these changes are powerful signs of wondrous experiences, lessons, and gifts. Even if you don't understand these changes at the moment, you will later. Andrew, you think so? I think it's been really great. I think it's been very much higher vibrational than normal, but not in a bad way. But it has been a little crazy with the animal trolls. I pissed those people off, and now I do it on purpose. Darling Deb, stop resisting. Stop. How do you forget? Stop resisting the change. And I know, again, we can't just leave our jobs. We can't just leave our husbands. We can't just leave you know what I mean? I get it, but you're resisting the fact that some major change has to happen. And I feel like it's because you're kind of being breadcrumbed or manipulated back into a situation. I'm not saying this is with your husband. Yeah, with my yoga mat nut slap, and then with Fortnite. Probably end up just playing Fortnite. Stop distracting me. Deb, I feel like you're back to resisting the fact that change has to happen. And that's when you stop working on yourself. You stop working on making the necessary changes to kind of induce the major change that needs to happen. It's a really hard one to accept. I'm not saying it has to do with your marriage. It could be with a job. It could be, there's something here though that has to end and come to an end and change, but it's not going to change for the better unless it comes to an end. The only way this situation is going to benefit you is by ending it. But I feel like in the next couple of weeks, there's a chance you're going to kind of be manipulated back into the future faking, the false hope, all of the false promises. And instinctually and primally that it's not going to happen, but you want it so badly to work and to be okay that you're forgetting the concept, which is you need to move on from this right away, as quickly as possible. All right, Alexander, last one. Let's do Magic of You. I liked Fortnite, but me and my nephew kept fighting over it. When RJ and I first started playing, my mom would come up and yell at us because she'd hear me. She'd hear a loud crash, and she'd come up and be like, "What?" And RJ would be like, "She threw the controller," and I'd be like, "He's a cheater," and we're fighting back and forth. My mom's like, "You're like a little kid." I was like, "I don't care. You're a cheater." He's like, "I'm not a cheater." I'm throwing the paddle or whatever it's called. First of all, I still call it a paddle. Blue Crossroads, exactly. That's exactly it. It's not easy. And when we're cognizant of it, sometimes it makes it harder because then we're in it again, thinking about it, right? But we also can't just completely and totally forget because then we'd forget the lessons as well. So it's a balance and it's a hard one to find. All right, Alexander Overhaul, this is for you. Because you are 6 hours away from us or off in Germany, sir. By the way, yeah, I still call it a paddle. So during Christmas, Alexander would send me all these beautiful photos of what Germany looked like and what they did in his home as part of the German tradition, lots of candles. And it was such a beautiful experience to learn another culture's traditions. It was really cool. Okay, Alexander, you got card number 14, Lavaria. Let love grow. Things he did with his wife and his daughter, and it was just really cool. Alexander, Lavaria appears when a healthy expression of love has turned into obsession with love, or more specifically, an idea that is not love. The skeletons of your expectations are limiting your experience of love. Release your attachment to what was and let a new concept of love evolve in your heart and mind. The embrace appears tender between the lovers, but they are bound up by vines that trap each to the other in a fixed expression that cannot grow. Whether you're in an intimate relationship or not, whether you have a family or not, whether you have friends or not, it's time to rethink what love is in your life and how you express it, as such, experience it. Be courageous. If you want someone loving and kind, you must also be kind and loving. If you want someone who is secure in themselves and wants healthy, positive commitment, then you must embody these qualities. Also, Lavaria is the soulmate card when drawn with the witch, but we're not drawing the witch. If you are wondering if the object of your desire is the best reflection of you, the witch says it is. And that could be anything you desire to experience love with: lover, job, home, holiday, animal companion, etc. So, Alexander, I do feel like you're starting to understand that there's a situation in your life that maybe isn't your idea of loving or kind or right for you, right? So if this doesn't involve romance, which it could, just take it as it resonates. It's kind of like you once thought this was everything you've ever wanted, like in a job, in a career, in a home, and now your home is falling to pieces. It turns out it was shoddily made or something. Or like your romantic like relationship with your wife, whatever it is personally for you, it's like it was what you wanted and needed when it started. But now you're starting to understand that you and this person or these other people or you and this thing, like it's two different things now. You're not content with things staying as they are. You're trying to grow and evolve in love and in life and as a person and as a spiritual being. And the other person or people involved here are fine with merely surviving. I feel like now that you're on this spiritual journey of enlightenment and knowledge and getting to know yourself, a lot of things in your life are going to seem, I don't want to say not good enough, but just not for you anymore. This is people, places, and things that no longer serve you. Alexander, if I were you, I'd really start to think about where I want my life to be in 6 months, 10 months, a year, and start understanding why something has changed, like energetically where you are, and also seek to understand what comes next for you, because the Groundhog Day, day after day after day, going through the motions and surviving is not going to be working for you long term. And you're going to end up with, I think, major issues and problems in your life. And I think changes to your personality that aren't necessary in a negative way, because you're going to end up bitter and just agitated. And that's so not you. Like, you are so high vibrating and friendly and loving and giving. But it's going to kind of make you a little bitter at life if you don't start really choosing where you spend your time and where you put your energy and who and what you give to and towards. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. On Monday, we're going to be talking about prophetic nightmares and the bizarre disappearance of Cynthia Anderson. All right. You guys, every time I do like a cryptid story, a high strangeness, it never fails. I get an email or a comment or a text that says, you should cover more true crime. Then when I cover the true crime, I don't even hit 100 views. When the cryptid stuff, high strangeness, extraterrestrials, encounters, all that stuff gets like 100-200 views. Not a lot, but way more. So if y'all want to see more true crime done by me as I speak to the victims of the crimes, being a medium, and kind of put that info in there, y'all got to support the show. Support the shorts. I'm on Instagram, not doing much, but a little bit. I'm on X, not really posting, but kind of. I'm on TikTok. I do get political on TikTok, and it may be offensive to a lot of people. So if you're not ready for that, maybe just stick to YouTube, Instagram, and X. I'm also on Snapchat posting some stuff too. I'm on Facebook. Find me, y'all. All right. I love you guys. Love, light, peace, many blessings.